Yo.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to 365 Flicks Podcast. I keep thinking about putting a number in and I always forget to put the number in when I edit them and upload them, so there's really no point, is there?
What?
But yes, hello everybody, welcome to episode 365 Flicks Podcast. That doesn't work either, does it?
You are a piping hot mess already, Kev.
This is not going to go well. So, let's start again.
Would you like me to do it?
No, I will do it and I will get it right. Okay? I will do it. Hello everybody and welcome to the 365 Flicks Podcast. Me. I am the pissy ex-video store clerk, Kevin, and the man next to me is...
Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
And a Whedon whore.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Chris.
Yes, you are. And you are called Chris. Yes. How are you doing tonight, good sir?
I am very well.
Good. That's what I like to hear. It's been a little while.
It's not been as long.
No, it's not been as long. We are in the boot a lot quicker than we normally are. So it's
the boot?
The boot. We are in the boot. Fire in the boot.
I think you'll find it was a My Cousin Vinny reference, but that's fine.
We're in the podcast studio. Do we have a name yet? Or is this for the news? Are we keeping this for the news?
No, it's not official.
Oh, so we're still toying.
I did buy a Garrison sign.
A what now?
For Peaky Blinders, you prick.
A Garrison sign from Peaky Blinders. Oh, like the pub?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think it's got legs.
When's Peaky Blinders coming back? Can't be far away, Can't be too far. Power's coming back soon. Power's nearly coming back. I can't wait for Power. Big shout out to the guys who work on Power, by the way, because I follow all of them on Instagram, and not one of them have given away whether or not Angela is alive nor dead. So, yeah.
I am not engaging in that at all.
So that is a thing. So yeah, so we are back and we've got a jam-packed episode for you to... Well, it's not jam-packed, but it is like a donut. So we have got many segments coming up for you. We have our... Wow, what are you pulling faces for?
Why is it like a donut?
I don't know. It's got jam in it.
You fucking moron.
It's like an air-filled donut. This episode is like an air-filled donut. That is the title of this episode. It's an air-filled donut. Yeah, we're back. We've got lots to talk about because although it hasn't been as long as our usual gap, it has been a little while since we got
a few things have happened.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that. Give me 2 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Give me 2 minutes.
I wish you would hurry up.
Right, so yeah, we've got some news coming up, which is our normal thing. Got some interesting news actually because some really cool stuff's been happening over the last week. And
that's what I just tried to say, and you shot me down.
Shut up. And then we will be doing our Just the Pilot. Our Just the Pilot this week. This episode is... You chose it.
I don't care. You've upset me.
Oh, come on.
It's Chernobyl.
Yes, it certainly is. A TV show that seems to be really kind of setting the world on fire right now.
Pun.
So I suppose it is. No, I would be saying a TV show that is giving a nuclear reaction. That would be more of a pun. But nobody's going to say that in real life, are they?
No, unless you're a massive twat.
Yeah. So we will be talking about Chernobyl later. We have got our normal segment, which is what have you been watching, and we're going to be doing something that I kind of had made peace with and decided I didn't really want to talk about, but I feel we need to. Like the whole Game of Thrones thing.
You made peace with it?
I haven't made peace with it. I just decided I wasn't going to talk about it, and I wasn't going to agitate myself.
No, I think we owe it to the listener.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
So we owe it to Aaron to let Aaron know what our thoughts were on Game of Thrones.
Will we just call this episode Aaron's Top 5? Or like listener Aaron's request week. He's not requested anything, so fuck him.
So that doesn't make sense. Then,
No. But we will also be going on to talk about what we've been watching. That's going to be there's going to be a Game of Thrones little talk in there. And we have our new segment, which I'm still struggling with coming up with a name of. Like, I just think, like, the best of is just a shit name for a segment.
Why would it be called the best of?
Because it's like the top 3 of that person's career. And this week, as chosen by myself, was Quentin Tarantino, a man who's been in the news quite a bit recently. So yeah, we'll be maybe diving into a little bit of that. Did you see the awkward cameraman?
No.
Did you see this? This is great. You know what? I was going to save this for the news, but no. You know how he screened the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at Cannes? And you know how at Cannes they always have the masturbatory like standing ovation for like an hour. You know, they can't just stand up and clap for like a minute. They have to stand up and clap for like an hour.
I'm familiar.
As we experienced
with this, yeah.
We experienced this and it was weird, but I suppose that's what people do. But yeah, so they had the I think this one went for not quite a record-breaking 8 minutes. But there was a cameraman there who decided he was going to get all up in their business. So, like, they were all standing up and they're all doing the ovations and everything. And he was literally going about a foot away from, like, cast members. So, like, he gets all up in Margot Robbie's face. Like, he's literally a foot away from her. But it's not, like, for 10 seconds.
So somebody's auditioning for Star Trek.
It's not 10 seconds. It's a clear 10-minute not 10 minutes because it only lasts 8 minutes, but he's in their face for so long to the point where Margot Robbie's like clapping away. The film's great, isn't it? Hey. Okay, you're going to move? You're going to move now, please? You're going to move? Can you move? Please, you're going to move? So he does eventually move, and at that point he goes over to Brad Pitt. And you know Brad Pitt's like the nicest man on the planet, apart from Tom Hanks. So he's like standing there and he's like, hey, you gonna move? You gonna move? Seriously, you gonna move? And you get a side shot at one point from another camera's point of view. And he's literally like, where I am to the microphone, that is pretty much where he stood in these people's faces. And it's so fucking awkward.
Wow.
I'm assuming that guy got fired the next day.
I would assume so, yeah.
And I would also hope so, because what a dick.
Unless that was his brief.
Unless it was.
That would be great.
Because you have to imagine, like, he had somebody in his ear telling him what to do.
Get closer. Go on, see what she does. Go on, see what she does.
It's like, dude, see how far you can push it. Go on.
See if she's got no stairs. Go on, see if she's got no stairs.
Find out if those curtains match the drapes. Too far? Pan down. No, but yeah, that was the thing that happened. But we are going to be getting on with the show in a quick moment. But Chris, as always, you have a job to do.
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Kind of.
Yeah, go for it. Do it right.
I want to do a quick shout out first.
You can do as many quick shout outs as you want. This podcast is as much yours as it is mine.
Or 50-50 now.
I didn't say that.
Well,
it might have sounded like I was saying that, but I didn't say that.
it was implied.
It was in the wording. Come on then.
I want to do another shout out to Aaron Goodmiller.
Aaron Goodmiller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the film,
Yeah.
the infamous film,
Mm-hmm.
is damn near finished.
The mirror that sees me.
Fuck off.
You know what it is though? I'm still giving you better names than you've given it. So come on.
Well, you're not though, are you?
What's it called? When you come in my face.
You better shut your mouth before I forget.
What? Nice. What the cum face sees.
That's the one.
Cum Blast City.
The film, What You Can't See.
Is that what it was called?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is
I didn't read it.
damn near done.
Right.
We now have... We're finished the cutting and stuff and things.
Yeah.
And so Aaron is now putting the score on it.
Nice. What kind of a score is it having? Like an eerie score?
No, I just said Nolan the shit out of it.
Nolan. Blah.
That's not Nolan, that's Hans Zimmerman. I was thinking more Dunkirk.
But I'm thinking like Interstellar did the Bloms. Dark Knight did the
Hans Zimmer didn't do
Bloms.
Dunkirk, did he?
I don't think so.
If he did, I'm going to look at idiot.
You probably are.
I'm going to have to check.
I mean, is he old enough to have been there? I don't know.
What, Hans Zimmer?
I don't know. But yeah.
And by the way, 75 years ago today.
Is it? Is it?
Not Dunkirk, D-Day.
What is it you say? Lest we forget? That's a thing, isn't it?
That is a thing.
Is that a thing for this? I don't know.
What, for the podcast?
No, for like the people's. The D-Days Dunkirks. Oh, I don't know, do I? Harry Styles was in it. I'm not watching it. God's sake.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on. Right, hold on, I'm looking.
So what happened 75 years ago for the people that might not know? I'm assuming most people know, though.
Well, if you don't know, I've got nothing to say to you.
Ooh-wee.
D-Day happened 75
D-Day.
years ago today. Do you know what that is?
Donut Day. I know what it is. It's that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Why can't I find the bloody... Well, there you go, sound department. I don't know. This is good. This is good podcasting.
This is great podcasting.
Yeah, so film damn near finished. Hopefully, maybe we've got Aaron's doing the score, and then we've just got some colour grading to do, which I'm not really sure what that is. And
it's basically where you just get a crayon
and just go like and make it green.
I want it to look orange. Sunburnt orange. No, more tangerine. No. I said sunburnt.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. It's you on Skype talking to Aaron. No, not that colour. I don't like it. Why is it blue?
Anyway, so that's...
How many shades of blue are there? Sorry.
You done?
I'm done.
So that's that. And we also want people to go onto Facebook.
We do.
And to Twitter. Mm-hmm. And follow 365 Flicks Podcast, because that's us.
Yeah, that is us.
Like it, share it, like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then do it again.
Do you have a Facebook and a Twitter for your movie?
I've got a Facebook.
Right. How does one find it?
You type in what you can't see film.
Bit wordy. Can I suggest WYCS
Yes.
film? Can I suggest that?
No. Yeah, so what else? What?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. Follow us on there. Subscribe to us on there and all that. And also the iTunes. Leave us a cheeky 5-star review because of the reason. Any other third-party pod-catching apps, we are also on there. And again, subscribe and share it and stuff.
Awesome. The movie we talked about on the last episode, we did the indie review of a movie called I Love My Mum. Yeah, they've put a poster out. It's like a banner poster for the movie, and they put those film quotes, and they put ours on there. I say ours, it was mine.
What's the quote?
Absolute knockout.
You said absolute knockout.
I said absolute knockout, right? And it doesn't say as hell.
That's very upsetting.
It should really be absolute knockout as hell. Terrific performances. No, that wasn't me. I did say that, but it's not from... Awesome. Yeah, so anyway, what did you do there? You did the pimpage?
Yeah.
Did you do the networks?
Right,
okay. Well, I mean, everybody knows where they can find us. I mean, to be perfectly honest, find us on iTunes. That's the place we want you to find us. Spotify, we want you to find us there.
I just said that shit.
Yeah, but...
Don't you steal my job.
No, I'm not stealing a job.
Well, you are.
But you know that iTunes is like, it's going to be pretty much crippled soon.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Apple's pretty much doing away with iTunes. So
yeah.
I feel like...
Although, it's now... So... You now have an app called Podcasts on your iPhones.
This is what I was going to say. On iTunes, you can find us on iTunes, and if you do find us on iTunes, that's phenomenal, great. But also do leave a review and all that.
Apple Podcasts,
but
rather than iTunes.
Yeah. So if you have us on iTunes and you don't have Apple Podcasts, download that app. Find us there. Don't download any other podcasts on there because they're all shit. We're probably the best thing on iTunes. So get Apple Podcast if you don't have it, and that's the best way to listen to your podcast from now on, because from what I can gather, iTunes is pretty much not going to be a thing soon. So just do that. If not, third-party podcasting apps like Chris so beautifully said, so eloquently said. You did. I was listening to you. So yeah, do you want to get into some news?
Yeah, go on then.
Awesome.
And welcome to the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah.
Did you know you could find us on the Danger Entertainment Network?
Danger.
Danger Entertainment. That's right.
Sounds dangerous.
It is. It's a tad bit dangerous. You'd be shocked to find that out. There's a bunch of great podcasts you can find there. Our friends from the History of Bad Ideas podcast, Who to What Now, Besotted Geek. No, they retired. That's right. They retired. But there are a bunch of other great podcasts you can find there, along with us. We're the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast, and we do pop culture and chili cheese dogs and whatever else floats our fancy.
Yeah.
Check us out.
For sure.
For sure. We're on most podcatchers, so give us a look.
Peace.
So, first little bit of news I have. I want to start with a biggie. I'm going to start with the one thing that seems to, not the one thing, but it's causing a little bit of a stir right now. I would like to start with the casting of Robert Pattinson as the new Batman. How do you feel? How do you feel about Robert Pattinson, as they're calling him?
Oh, well, that spoiled it.
Well, you knew they would come up with something.
Why?
Because it's what we do now. We merge things together and we just turn ourselves into wanky assholes.
Not what I do.
I know it's not what you do, because you're a cantankerous fuck, but it's what people do on the interwebs. So, Robert Pattinson, the guy from Twilight, the sparkly vampire, is playing Batman in the Matt Reeves The Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that people should shut the fuck up,
Yep.
as always.
Yeah. That's just a general statement.
That's going to come out a few times.
That's
tonight,
not
to be
about
honest with
this
you.
casting, though, is it? That's just general.
I am actually okay with it.
I'm more than okay with it.
Because fuck Twilight.
Yeah.
Just as a general principle, fuck Twilight.
I mean, you've got to start somewhere.
Go with, okay, so he's Cedric Diggory.
Exactly. Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
And also, he's done the one with Charlie Hunnam. It was like All in the Jungle and shit.
Oh yeah, in the jungle and shit. I remember that one.
That one.
Yeah. I do know which one you're on about. The Lost City of Zed.
That's the one. That's the one. I actually saw that and thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have to say, Robert Pattinson was very good in it. So not being a cunt, I'm not going to dismiss the man for the fact that he was in a shitty bunch of films.
This is
10 years ago, wherever it finished.
This is the thing with Robert Pattinson, and I kind of, when they were talking about it, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to be like, oh, what, the guy from Twilight, the twinkly vampire, and all that kind of thing. Like, you knew that was going to happen as soon as his name started getting banded about. But the guy has got quite a healthy body of work away from that. But the thing with Robert Pattinson is, he chooses his directors. He chooses his movies very carefully. He's not making any old shite like his pal Taylor Lautner. He's not just like making it to be out there.
Still working.
Oh, he's still working.
Blimey.
I mean, barely, but he's still there.
Doesn't he do that show with Greg Davies?
Cuckoo on BBC Two. I think he was in like the first series. Yeah, I don't think he's been in it past that. But this is what I mean. Like, if you actually look into Robert Pattinson's career, he's had a lot more than Twilight. He's actually done some pretty decent films, played some pretty decent roles. Gritty as fuck when he wants.
But you see, that would involve people actually looking into shit before they fucking flip the fuck
Oh,
out.
no, you can't do that.
And
Outrage!
Steady on, Kev. We've all had a drink.
Outrage! I know.
I just hate people. I really do just hate people lately. And there's another one that we'll come to later on in the episode.
How do you feel about it's an impending trilogy?
Again, fine, whatever. Just do it.
Matt Reeves has turned around and he says he's not doing an Origins per se, but it is going to be the early years of Batman's career.
I'm okay with that.
I love it. Apparently there will be a Robin in it. We don't know which Robin, but apparently I'm assuming if it's the early years, it's going to be Dick. It's going to be Dick Grayson. Has to be, really. They're not going to skip that.
You always want Dick.
As much Dick in your movie as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, all full frontal for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Right, fine.
And
just let them fucking do something before you start bitching about.
Yeah.
You know, you've not seen any photos of him in the costume. You've not seen an audition tape. You've not seen anything. Anything. It's just immediately no.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that, and I'm not on that train at all. He may prove me wrong, and he may be terrible, but give him a chance to show me.
You know what? Matt Reeves is a good director.
He's a fucking great director.
And we've just said, okay, so Twilight happened.
Yeah.
The guy was, he was doing his thing. He was in a fucking franchise.
He was starting out. It was a huge franchise, and he got paid a shit ton of money to do very little. Just stare at the camera like a twinkly twat.
Okay, so yeah, Twilight was shite.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like actors haven't done shite movies before.
Exactly. And the other thing that's come out, and this is the news section, so take it all with a pinch of salt, because not everything's 100% confirmed. But you know how it was between him and Nicholas Hoult, apparently. Yeah. It looked like it was between them two. The rumour now is that it was never actually between them two. The rumour now is that they made it look that way and they played it that way because Nicholas Hoult may be playing the Riddler. Which I am
okay with that.
I'm actually
it's about
really
time
okay
we
with
saw a more up-to-date Riddler.
Yeah.
I personally don't hate Jim Carrey's Riddler. It's not the
I don't
worst
hate
thing
it,
in
no.
that movie.
No, it's definitely not the worst thing in that movie.
I don't hate Jim Carrey's Riddler, but I would like to see an updated version of it after Nolan's Batman.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't do like.
I would love to have seen a Nolan Riddler.
There was talk of like Johnny Depp playing him and all that. That would have been fucking good.
I mean, I think the closest you're going to get to a Nolan Riddler, unless Matt Reeves goes that way, but the closest you are going to get is the kid that plays him in Gotham, because he does play him quite dark, he's not really that funny, to be fair. He's just eccentric and psychopathic, really.
You want your Riddler to be.
Exactly. And I think that's the closest you're going to get to a Nolan Riddler. But I would love to have seen what Nolan would do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But again, Matt Reeves, you look at those Apes movies, they ain't the happiest things in the world.
No.
So, I don't know, we might get...
as you are very fond of saying, we are not watching Marvel.
No.
But, yeah, I think the last episode you spoke about film, and I'm going to speak about film, same film.
Okay.
That, it could quite easily be Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I am very much okay with Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman, if only because of the fucking internet virgins.
Yeah.
And so, because of that, I refuse to bloody knee-jerk the shit out of it like they are, and fuck them. Fuck all of them.
They very much are, and it is annoying. So yeah, the other thing about the DCEU is that going forward, it's splitting. The DCEU is going to be split into two sections now.
Right.
So you know how they've got the Joker movie coming. Pardon me. Matt Reeves has already said that his Batman trilogy isn't going to take place within the DC films we've already got.
Okay.
It's going to be its own thing. So it looks like we're going to be having these standalone movies.
I'm okay with that.
But running alongside that, we're also going to be having the DCEU sort of going ahead with it, which I love the idea of this. I do like the idea of this. It would be nice if they met up somehow somewhere. Mm-hmm. I'd be okay with that. Like maybe you do like a Flashpoint at some point and it merges both universes for a little bit. All right. But I'm okay with this because then I still get to have my cake and eat it. I get my DCEU movies, but then I can have like a quality director like Matt Reeves come in and do what the fuck he wants. It's just like a one shot. Just go for it. So I'm alright with that. I like that. I like that news. I don't know the full extent of it yet, but it sounds like it's happening that way.
One thing I did see, and this is probably just like a fucking fan theory or whatever, but it was a doctored picture of Willem Dafoe. As the Joker.
As the Joker? Yeah.
Come on.
They've thrown that around. That's been thrown around before. He'd be great. He would be great, but I've got Jared Leto.
Oh, fuck him.
I've got Joaquin Phoenix coming up, which I still think that film's just going to knock
I
me.
am... When's it out? Now in a minute?
Yeah, it's like a couple of months' time.
Right. I am interested in it now. Yeah, I'll try and see it. I will.
I won't lie, I'm fair optimistic about that movie now.
Fair optimistic.
I've gone from being like, Joaquin Phoenix, fuck that shit, I am watching that, to being like, oh man, he is doing something here.
Well, again, similar to Shazam,
Yeah.
the guys that they put in charge of the marketing of it, to start with anyway, they want fucking shooting. Because I had the same reaction as you did. I don't think anybody thought differently, or probably some people did. But when I first saw the initial teaser, I just went, no, I don't want to watch that.
What's this for, Shazam?
No.
For Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the
And
same.
Shazam.
I was the same.
Well, no, not even the initial trailer for Shazam. The entire way through. The trailers were fucking terrible.
The trailers give you nothing for that movie. They really don't. Like, they don't even show you any of the best stuff that are in. I suppose that's a good thing, though, because, like, I went into Shazam,
Yeah, not to the point where you're going, I have got no interest in seeing that movie. Fuck off.
It's like the reverse Terminator when they give away the twist. So, horror. Blumhouse, the company Blumhouse, the Conjuring and all that kind of thing. They are, I don't know how I feel about this. They've joined forces with toy company Mattel, and they're making a horror movie based around the Magic 8 Ball. You know the Magic 8 Ball that you shake and you ask it a question? They're making a horror movie based around a Magic 8 Ball.
That's owned by Mattel.
Yeah, that's owned by Mattel. That's like their
How
little
can you
thing.
own the Magic 8 Ball?
I don't fucking know. But apparently they own that, and Mattel are working alongside Blumhouse to make a Magic 8 Ball horror movie.
I see.
When you think about, like, the thinnest inspiration you could possibly get, I mean, next to
Battleships.
fuck me, that's what it is, isn't it? It's Battleships, but horror.
And also Mattel, I believe? Or no, it's Waddington's. Battleships Waddington's?
I don't know. But yeah, we're getting a Blumhouse horror movie of a Magic 8 Ball. But I bring up Blumhouse because I'm loving some stuff here. Annabelle 3. Have you seen the Annabelle movies?
Yeah. And I have seen the trailer for the new Annabelle movie, and I think it looks fucking good.
It does look pretty good, doesn't it? Was it Annabelle Comes Home?
Yeah, I like the premise of it.
So Annabelle 3 is set, I think it's coming up in later on this year, that early.
Yeah.
But the director has said that it's going to further widen the Conjuring universe again. So spin-offs from the Annabelle movie, basically.
Fucking hell.
So
That's good, I like that. Because
I'm loving it.
it's like they've done it. Hasbro is Battleship. by the
Hasbro,
way.
right? Yeah.
They've kind of... So they did their two Conjuring movies, and then, they've kind of created a verse,
They're kind of Marvel and horror.
like behind our backs type thing.
Yeah.
So they've done what Universal failed to do,
Yeah.
essentially, because they were desperate to have their fucking dark universe,
Yeah.
but they just blew their loads on it.
So we're getting Annabelle 3, and the director claims that he has scratched the surface on certain things in the Annabelle movies that he now feels that he would like to branch out into and to have a look at. We're also getting The Conjuring 3 is coming early next year. James Wan back in control on that.
Oh, he's directing it, is he?
Yeah, from what
Right.
I read today, I'm assuming it's true, but it looks
Right.
like he's definitely doing it. The Nun 2 is still incoming. And a movie I'm going to be talking about in the What Have You Been Watching section is I didn't actually realise was a Conjuring spin-off, but I think it's actually more of an Annabelle spin-off, but it sits in that universe, and man, you've got to see this film. The Curse of La Llorona. Have you seen anything about it?
Never heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it, but Linda Cardinelli from that Dead to Me TV show, she's in it. So I was like, I'm going to give that a watch. I'm sitting there watching it, and there's a priest halfway through the movie who is like, I've seen things that would make me believe just about anything, and then it does a cheeky little flashback, and it's the priest who I didn't realise, because I haven't seen all the Annabelles, but it's the priest from Annabelle who like had the doll kind of thing, and like they do a flashback. I was like, holy fuck, this is a Conjuring spin-off. Nice. Like, again, like you say, behind our backs, because I didn't know that. I had no idea, but yeah, I'm loving what they're doing with this Conjuring universe. It is basically the Marvel of horror right now.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
So it's like they're sort of doing it like how Cloverfield are.
Yeah,
only good.
Yeah, because it actually is meant to be part of the part of the universe.
And not just, well, we do that. Well, we make it a Cloverfield movie.
Oh, you made a movie that we could slip aliens in at the very end.
Fuck off.
Cloverfield. Right. So you got anything you want to hit on anything?
Yeah, let's go. Right, hold on.
I do have more, but go for it.
Right. Hold on. Okay, yeah, right. First of the petitions, Kev.
Oh, there's a lot of petitions.
There is now a petition, hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Why do they need a petition for that?
Because there's a petition for everything.
Probably going to happen anyway. I mean,
Think it will happen?
I don't know why they would, but...
The same people who are doing this shit tore it a new one.
Yeah.
They tore it apart before it had even been fucking released.
Rightly so.
Maybe, just maybe, fuck this shit.
What, the petitions?
Yes.
Like, petitions aren't going anywhere. It's become part of, like... It's become part of the fabric now. It seems to go along with everything. I mean, the petition to replace Brie Larson, don't get me wrong, I signed that one. The petition to get fucking Robert Pattinson out of the Batman role, and then 2 seconds later, there's a petition to make Kristen Stewart fucking Batgirl. Then 2 seconds after that, there's a petition to make Taylor Lautner fucking Robin. And it's like, dude, where are we going with these petitions? Where are we going?
Would you like another one?
Please don't.
There's a petition to change Tony Stark's Avengers Endgame fate.
Yeah, I saw this earlier. Why? What is the crack there?
Who the fuck do they think they are?
I think they just sit there like sad little pathetic bastards in their mum's basement.
Mom, get over here.
Yeah, like jacking off into having like the loneliest, saddest wank you've ever had into a sock, and then they go, you know what? I'm going to make a petition against. I tell you what's trending on Twitter right now. Okay, I'm making a petition about that. It's a sad state of affairs right now. It's all this. It's like I was saying to you, I was watching a video about fan entitlement. This Christian Harloff. I'm not going to start ripping anyone apart. He's a YouTube vlogger basically for Collider, which is what John Campea runs now. Collider. Okay.
You have to say it the proper Jason Brigger way. Collider.
Okay. So Christian Harloff is part of the Jedi Council on Collider, and you know how they opened the new Star Wars fucking theme park thing, whatever. They've opened this thing, and they invited everybody
Galaxy's Edge.
That's the one.
Aye.
They invited pretty much everybody who's anyone, like influencers wise, kind of thing, and all that. And he's all like, well, why didn't they fucking invite me? Because I've been covering Star Wars stories for the last 5 or 6 years. They should have invited me. And he's like kicking off, why didn't they invite me? This isn't right. They should invite me. I've been covering all these different angles, and I've been, you know what? Just because you're a fan, and just because you cover these things and talk about these things, you're not entitled to a fucking free ticket to Galaxy's Edge. And I said I wasn't going to rip him apart, but he's a dick anyway, so...
I've never heard of the guy.
Oh, he's awful. He's not... that's harsh. He's not awful. He's not. He's just not great. So,
but, you know, if you have to be such a whiny bitch that you go on the YouTubes or whatever going, I should have been invited. I should have had an invite. I should have had an invite. That's your reason right there, buddy.
Yeah. Or even, why not just go on Twitter and say, oh, man, would have been nice to have had an invite. And then you know what? Next time they go out, you might get one. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, fan entitlement, these petitions and everything like that, it's just becoming really, really awful. And just like, we've said before...
you know what? I was going to wait, but I'm going to go into this right now because this actually led to me deleting the Facebook app off my phone. And at the moment, I've got no intention of reinstalling it.
Sweet.
So... this wasn't a petition or anything, but there were complaints about Chernobyl.
Because right, yeah.
And the fact that there was a lack of coloured people in Chernobyl.
Yeah. This is what I was saying to you last night. Well, sort of. I get it. I completely understand why HBO have done Chernobyl the way they've done it. I also kind of understand why people are a little bit miffed. But dude, it's a fucking dramatization of a fucking true event.
How do you understand why they're getting miffed?
I mean, for me, it's not to do with the colour or anything like that, because I really couldn't care what colour the guys were that were there or anything like that. That's nothing to me. For me, the whole thing, I was sitting there, and as you agreed, I just felt a little bit disjointed, because I'm sitting like, are these guys not supposed to be Russian or Ukrainian? Yeah. And they're all like, they're called Nikolai, Viktor, Mikhail, Dyatlov, and they're all like, oh, mate, you coming down for a cup?
Explosion, innit?
You coming for a cup of Rosalie? Oh, look at that tractor over there! Look at that nuclear tractor!
I don't think any of them went, oh.
They might as well have. But like, in that sense, I can get why people are being incensed by the fact that there are a bunch of Londoners or Scotchies or Americans that are meant to be Russian.
There's no Americans.
The whole whitewashing that people are claiming, I really don't get that.
It's not whitewashing. It's 1980s Soviet Russia. Yeah. You fucking Mongoloids.
But this is what people are getting upset about.
No, you can't get upset about that. It's a fucking period bloody drama, and you can't get upset about that. Fucking Stalin had them all killed. There was no fucking black guys or girls or whatever there at that time in Soviet fucking Russia.
Yeah.
So stop trying to revise history. Stop trying to fucking change how that looked in 1980s Russia to make yourselves feel better. Stop trying to fucking revise that shit. You can't do that. Same with the fucking, the bloody films that are fucking trying to change history in America and all that kind of thing. You can't do that. It happened.
Yeah.
This is how it was. This is how it looked. It all went to shit in Russia in the fucking 1980s. There were no coloured people. Mm-hmm. Not just black people. There were no black people. There were no Asians. Mm-hmm. It was fucking Soviet white fucking Russia. Mm-hmm. They were all dead.
Well, but you've got to throw one in there so that everybody's represented.
No, you're trying to fix me now.
No, I'm not. We are. That was 1980s Russia. We are now in 2019's Trump's America, Trump's world.
Well, then I kind of think that he was looking at that having a wank, to be honest.
Yeah.
With these little wee hands. Yeah, you can't revise that. It's a fucking period piece. You can't revise it. Shut the fuck up.
So is this like a big argument that people are having? I knew people were talking about it, but...
Honestly, I don't care how big an argument it is.
Yeah.
The fact that people are even saying it.
Yeah, it's mental.
It's a fucking history... essentially, it's a history programme. Okay, things have been dramatised. Like, there are... I watched it all. Spoilers. I watched the final episode of it last night. And it says at the end, there were characters in it who... The same as JFK.
Yeah.
So they kind of amalgamated characters to set multiple people into one character so that they were all represented, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean to say you can make the person black.
But
You've still got to. Sorry, I'm really fucking pissed off by this. You've still, this is their show, and they are representing Soviet Russia.
Ivan Drago.
So, exactly. So you can't fucking have, as filmmakers, you're not going to throw a dose of people in there that don't belong there.
Yeah.
Right? You may as well have a bunch of bloody gay guys fucking skipping along. They were dead! They were all fucking dead!
Were they?
Yes!
Did they kill all the gays
yes!
as well? Oh, man.
They killed more people than fucking Hitler did. That was funny.
It is a little bit. I like how vexed you get.
It really pissed me off.
I like to push your buttons. I do.
It really fucking...
No, like,
annoyed me. Can you tell?
I'm with you on that one, because when I read that, there was a lot of controversy. Like, I won't lie, I thought it was the same kind of opinion that I was having, that it was those Londoners playing Russians. I didn't realise it was like this mass, like, why is there no representation for everyone? Because you're right, it is history. It's part of what was happening. Like, you can't just throw, you know, a random black person in there just for the sake of saying, well, that's them covered.
Tick.
You can't do that. You really can't. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. I did read an article today that was basically these historians saying that there's literally only 2 things that happened in that TV show that didn't actually happen, like story-wise. I didn't read the whole article because I've not watched the whole series.
Yeah.
But they were like, it's pretty much as accurate as it gets. Like, it's spot on.
It is a hell of a show. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I'm going to have to get another Mandas because I've actually hurt my throat.
Oh, but why wasn't there any gays in it? Did you see the thing about the straight parade?
Yeah, did you?
Yes, I said it to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it's nonsense. It's stupid, but I kind of love it. Like, why not?
I've got it in my head that they're all going to be going about like Leo on the plane in Wolf of Wall Street. Just fucking humping everything that moves.
You know what the problem is with that, though, right? And this is going to sound a bit nasty. Well, not nasty, but a bit weird. So you know when you have these gay pride parades and everything, like, they have the best fucking music because you know they love all that campy cheese music, don't they? You know them.
Yes, they all do.
them they're gays. But could you imagine a straight parade? It would just be those of fucking Johnny Cash. Who wants to listen to that shit all day?
Maybe not all day.
Yeah.
You can't even play Beyonce at that.
You can't because she's a gay icon apparently. So yeah, we talked about Quentin Tarantino before, about the awkward can thing.
Are you going to have the same bit of news as I am?
Is this how he's ripping off the Russo brothers?
Oh shit, then no.
No. So he's basically, we've talked about this a couple of times when it was coming up to Endgame and Infinity Wars and all that, and I was saying like the Russo brothers have created the single best bit of marketing for a movie or TV show ever, and it's not trailers like it should be, it's not posters like it should be, it is the hashtag no spoilers, right? Hashtag was it Thanos is coming for you or something, like Thanos will get you or some shit like that, I can't remember what it was. Hashtag don't spoil Endgame. And I said that is the best bit of marketing because if people adhere to it, which the internet, bless them, they were doing with Endgame.
I saw one person on my Facebook in a group that I have no idea how I was in, who did actually spoilers for Endgame. He actually did post Tony Stark dies in Endgame, and all the comments on there.
But this is like they created this hashtag, and they've created this sense of like going to the cinema and like seeing it for the first time, like literally no spoilers. And it was the same with like Game of Thrones. People were doing it with Game of Thrones as well. Like, I really wish somebody had a spoiler for me, but they were like,
no, somebody spoiled it for you.
Well, he did a little bit, yeah.
Although, do you call it a spoiler if you actually fucking ask the guy to tell you?
Nah, not really.
I don't think you do.
But they created that, and it's turned out because nobody knew what was going to happen in Endgame. You went to see it, you had fresh eyes. There was no spoilers on the internet. It was brilliant. You know, it's a great thing that they did. Well, now Tarantino has created mass hysteria on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because the night before his big screening at Cannes, everyone who was invited got like an email from Quentin Tarantino, hashtag don't spoil Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, hashtag don't spoil the movie kind of thing. And he sent out like this, basically a love letter to everybody that went to see it. I love cinema, you love cinema, people go to the cinema to discover a story for the first time. Please don't spoil Once Upon a Time in America. And the thing was, right, this is a Quentin Tarantino movie.
And also the story of Charlie Manson.
Yeah.
So you know how it's going to end.
It's Quentin Tarantino. It's Charlie Manson's story. It's like, it's not Endgame. It's not Infinity Wars, which is going to be a huge twist somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Game of Thrones, where there's going to be huge twists left, right, and centre. So people were like, why the fuck doesn't he want people to spoil this movie? Like, what happens in this movie? What's the twist in this movie? So now people are like, there's no sequel coming that we know of. Like, he's not... Where do you go with that story? So now people are on the internet like, what happens in this movie that he doesn't want people to know about? Like, what happens? Like, oh my god, there must be some huge twist and all. Like, is he going to expand on his Quentin Tarantino universe? Is there going to be like characters from one of his other movies pops up somewhere and it's going to set up another movie? Is he going to M. Night Shyamalan it? And like, by the way, this movie is actually like a sequel to fucking Pulp Fiction or some shit. Like, what is he doing? I think it's great. I think he's happened upon something purely by accident. And he's been like, you know what, those Russo brothers, they got a major amount of hype by doing that hashtag, but now people are like, what the fuck's Quentin doing next? They've not even seen this one, and they're like, what's he doing next? Like, what is the...
Well, it leads to Star Trek. Ooh!
Oh, man. Oh,
timey-wimey.
Fucking Brad Pitt walks on set or something, because it's about a movie star, isn't it? He walks on set, and it's like fucking Star Trek 4. And it's like, oh, man.
And it goes from, it kind of turns into the end of Blazing Saddles, and then goes into Star Trek 4.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'll watch that.
Yep.
I'll watch that all day.
Now,
but yeah, he's stolen the Russo brothers' idea, and it's worked a fucking charm. Fair play to him.
yeah, fair play. I'm going to tell you a bit of news, and you're going to fucking love it. Also about Quentin Tarantino. Right. We are apparently going to be getting Django Unchained 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw something about this.
And it's going to have Zorro in it.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And it gets better. Amy Pascal
Oh, yes. Oh, I love this woman.
has said that a team-up between those characters sounds super cool.
Because she does love a team-up.
I demand that Amy Pascal's involved with this movie.
I demand this. I petition this.
I petition this.
Oh, will we set a petition
I
up
think
tonight?
we should. I fucking make Amy Pascal an executive producer on Django 2.
Done.
Fuck yes.
Done. I'll set that up this
Sponsored
weekend.
by, endorsed by 365 Flicks Podcast.
I'll set that up this weekend. We will get Amy. We are getting Amy Pascal involved.
Imagine Amy Pascal and Quentin Tarantino.
Imagine like Amy Pascal comes up. It's like Pascal Studios, and then a Quentin Tarantino film. Because obviously her name would have to go first.
And then the Weinstein logo? Maybe not. Too soon?
Too soon. Yeah, too soon. Although we could make that part of the petition, and then it would really go viral. Like, holy shit, these guys want the Weinsteins involved?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, too fucking right.
Yeah. So that's all I've got.
Yeah, there's only really one more bit I've got, and I could have really brought this up a little bit earlier, but Warner Brothers is skipping San Diego this year.
Oh.
San Diego Comic-Con, the biggest Comic-Con of the year, the one that
Is it
everybody goes
anymore?
to. I don't know. I think because Marvel has their thing now,
Yeah.
and then Disney has D23 now, so I suppose it's not really that big anymore. And
It will be.
apparently there's a new one, which is like literally across the street from San Diego Comic-Con, which is like Scare Diego Comic-Con, which is more of a horror Comic-Con. So apparently that's where Warner Brothers are spending their time this year.
All right.
They're not going to Hall H, even though they've got huge films like fucking Wonder Woman 84. Did you see the poster for this?
I did.
Pretty badass.
yeah.
Pretty badass. Patty's doing good work there. I like a bit of
I'm
Patty
looking forward to it. Is that this year?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm almost sure. But they've got that. They've got the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. That's coming later. I think that's early next year.
Right.
And obviously they've got Matt Reeves, the Batman, and everything. So they could have been talking about that a little bit. But they've decided this year they ain't going to bother. And of course they've got the next Godzilla film, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, fuck that.
That's coming as well. But they've decided this year we ain't doing Hall H, we ain't doing San Diego Comic-Con, so yeah. But then again, I remember it was a huge thing when Marvel said they weren't going, and then 2 weeks later they like did their own thing at the Capitan Theatre and like announced every movie for the next 20 years, so it didn't really matter. Although I like that one because that's the one where they faked out Civil War, because they were doing like they said it was Captain America, the Head of the Snake or something it was called, and everybody was like, oh, Secret Hydra movie, and then I was like, holy joking, it's Captain America Civil War.
Aye.
That was when Black Panther was cast as basically the main character of that movie, and then they got Spider-Man, so they fucked off Black Panther. Yeah. Well played. Well played. So...
It was fucking the 2000s Marvel Universe. There weren't black people.
They'd killed them all.
Thanos killed them all. Okay, this is getting a dangerous territory.
So yeah, we're gonna move on from the news and our
racism.
our next section, casual. Our next session, I mean, we've talked about them about 12 times already. We'll be going on to our top 3 Quentin Tarantino movies.
Hey hooligans, this is Michael
This is Michelle,
This is Jeremy.
from Who the What Now?
the show about
Strange stories from the internet.
And Bigfoot came over and beat his ass. He like knocked him around a little bit, and he just kind of went limp, and Bigfoot left.
pop culture.
Jean-Claude Van Clam.
I thought
Jean-Claude Van
thought you were
Clam
gonna-
was supposed to be the alien in Predator, and like did like a jump splits and like ended up with his like badge right in the dude's face.
That's
He's
his
like, do I
move.
get the part?
In our crazy lives.
I'm like, oh, there's a cat on my back, and then all of a sudden I feel something. I feel a furry paw go down my ass crack. Just slide right down my ass crack. I was like, what are you doing?
You can catch us on all your favorite podcast applications,
Spotify,
iTunes,
Libsyn,
iHeartRadio,
Stitcher.
your mamas, and wherever else they have quality podcasts.
So don't miss out on the next
Who
the What Now?
If you haven't heard this section before, if you're new to the podcast, we are doing a section where we take an actor, director, filmmaker, whatever, producer, and we pick 3 movies. Our top 3 of their career. Chris gets a choice, I get a choice, and we have a joint choice between us. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino with his upcoming 9th film, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know. Like, I think I do want to see this one in the cinema, because I've been saying for a little while, like, you even agreed on the last podcast, like, every movie we've been to see over the last couple of years has been spandex, superhero, graphic novel.
It was, although, like, well, I'll get there now in a minute.
Yeah.
I went to see John Wick 3.
Yeah.
And I suppose it is graphic novel but it was quite refreshing to not see people flying about.
Yeah, I'm quite like.
Could this be the start of the bubble burst, do you reckon? We can't be the only people feeling like that.
I've got to be honest with you. I've been thinking about this recently, and the thing I've always loved about Marvel, about the MCU, is that it's superheroes. I've always loved superheroes since forever. It's comic books. I love comic books. It's escapism at its absolute best. But like, one thing that they've always managed to do is not be overly silly, not be overly stupid. Like, yeah, it's comedy, it's funny, like it's lighthearted most of the time. But I'm looking at it now, and after the events of Endgame, and with the recent trailer for Spider-Man, obviously they're going to start bringing in multiverses and stuff like that. I'm sitting there thinking, is it just going to get a bit mental now?
Oh, it's definitely going there.
And I'm just like...
But then what do you do? Like,
Exactly.
What else do you do? Because you've done your 10-year thing.
You've stuck to that brilliantly. You've not deviated too much. You tested the water with your Guardians of the Galaxy being up in space, which was fantastic. You've tested the water with your cosmic universe with Doctor Strange, which, you know, for its flaws, it's not a terrible movie. It's got potential. But I'm just kind of looking at it now, like, if they're going to start involving multiverses, different timelines, it's going to get a bit stupid for me. And that's fine on a TV show like Sliders or Quantum Leap. But, I don't know, like, I do think time's going to tell in the next couple of years. What they do next is going to have to be superb.
Yeah.
Like, how do you keep topping Endgame?
I don't think you do.
How do you keep topping Infinity Wars?
Like, and I don't think they'll do another 10-year plan.
No, I can't see that. I think what they might do is have, you know how they had phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Instead of those phases leading up to, like you say, a 10-year plan, I think we're going to have maybe a 3 or 4 year plan for each phase.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of, like, event stories in comics that you could, like, for DC and for Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, DC's not even
pick
scratched
from.
the surface.
Imagine they did, like, Matt Reeves did something like Cacophony.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah.
You know? Or it's Wyden and Geyer, then Cacophony. Yeah? And then nothing else. Fucking Kevin Smith. But imagine they did that.
Yeah.
Fuck me. They blew it with bloody
Court of
Killing Joke. They
Owls.
fucked that up. But
Court of Owls is a good story. The fucking Death in the Family. You know, anything.
I've never read Death in the Family.
Death in the Family's amazing.
Yeah.
Or you want to go down the Superman road, you have like the Death in Return kind of thing. They could do stuff like that. They kind of did it in the space of half an hour in Batman v Superman, which is a shame.
Got there too soon.
Yeah, they did. I love it. I still love it to this day, but it was way too early. Just pace yourself. But
anyway, Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino, yeah. I do think, like you just said, I feel like the bubble is bursting. It all depends what we get Spider-Man 2 onwards. It really does all depend, because if they don't do something special, and if they don't change the game up, the bubble's going to burst quickly. And sooner or later, these billion-dollar movies are going to be like $800 million movies, which is still nothing to be sniffed at. And then there'll be like $500 million movies.
And then okay, we're axing that franchise now.
Then it's like, come on, let's...
that is going to happen eventually.
Yeah, of course it is.
But, I mean, at the same time, it is still cool as fuck seeing characters, like Spider-Man, Batman, whatever, that we grew up reading comics of, and reading these, like I say, these event stories on the screen, like Civil War. I mean, how cool the moment with the Iron Man shooting at the shield and all that. The moment in Wonder Woman when she's like holding the shield against the Germans in the trenches.
When you get those double spread pages that you've read on the screen,
yeah,
it's like fuck yeah. Like I hadn't seen a comic book where, spoilers for Endgame, where Cap holds Mjolnir. I hadn't seen that. Apparently it does happen in the comics at some point. I hadn't seen that. But I imagine if I had read that as a kid, I would have fucking jizzed my pants. Because in the cinema, as a 34-year-old adult, I fucking jizzed my pants. That was the best scene in Endgame for me. That stole everything. Everything that happened in that movie. Everything that happened in the last 10 fucking years of the MCU. Him grabbing that hammer was just like, fuck yeah, America.
I'm trying to think.
Nothing beats it for me.
Pepper in the Iron Suit, to be
You're
honest.
a dick.
Okay, it's fucking Quentin Tarantino. Go on.
Quentin Tarantino. So this is the section where we talk top 3 of Quentin Tarantino's career. So yeah, we decided, will we do the joint one first and then move into our own?
Yeah, why not?
There was a caveat, which I'm going to mention because my pick may fall.
There was a caveat?
May fall within the caveat. I did say that...
Oh, yes, you did. That's right.
It doesn't necessarily have to have been directed by Quentin. It could have just been written by Quentin. Or... We're not going to say produced. That would be gay. But it doesn't necessarily have to have been directed by the man himself. That was the caveat. Because then that includes your Natural Born Killers. That includes your True Romance. You got movies like that.
Bloody... What's it called? The vampire one.
Yep, indeedy. Dusk Till Dawn.
That's the one.
Yeah. Oh, man, Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't even think of that. Fucking great movie. But yeah, so we both came to the conclusion last night that one movie that we both universally love of Quentin Tarantino's was...
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah, Kill Bill 1 is fucking awesome. Like, I love Kill Bill, but...
both of those movies are fantastic. But the reason that we both enjoyed the second one and we've talked about this over beers many times, is that the second one, to us anyway, and if you disagree, feel free to say, but you're wrong. The second one to us feels more like a Quentin Tarantino movie. You've got the monologue by Ellie Driver. Ellie Driver?
Yeah,
is that right?
Gargantuan.
I love that word.
Yeah.
And you've got the horrible fucking snake going about in the background. You've got that just gorgeous fucking monologue. And then you've got the moment sort of later on in the movie where the bride is sitting opposite Bill's mentor in the cafe.
Bill just shoots you in the head.
It's just
Michael
incredible.
Michael Parks at his absolute finest. I mean, that is a fine actor right there. God bless his soul, he's dead now, but he is a phenomenal actor. And in that, I didn't actually realise till the third time watching it that it was Michael Parks. It's just he shoots you in the head. Love it, man.
You've also got the moment at the start of the movie, I believe it is, where it opens up at the rehearsal of the wedding.
Yeah.
Where Bill, the bride hears Bill playing the flute, and then she goes outside, and they have that again. You have the moment where, because it's Quentin Tarantino, it's got
Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino.
Shut the fuck up, Kev.
Quentin
Tarantino. So it's got to have feet, and you've got
he loves
stepping
feet
towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're talking and that, it's just
beautiful. Carradine's amazing in that movie. I do like him in the first one, but you don't see a great deal of him in the first one. You see little bits, but in the second one, he's just dialoguing like a motherfucker all over that film. You've got the scene at the end when she puts the kid to bed and they watch fucking Shaolin Assassin. Yeah. And then she goes out and he's telling her how his favourite superhero is Superman and why he loves Superman. Just great.
And the story of the fish.
Yep. Awesome, man.
It's just... Yeah, we just feel as Tarantino fans, as movie fans, and fuck you, that Kill Bill Volume 2 is the more Tarantino of the two movies.
Yeah.
And the sort of so you've got all the killy, stabby, gory shit in the first one. I mean, yeah, there's still that in the second one, but it's the fucking dialogue, man.
Have you ever watched I believe it's a Japanese import, The Whole Bloody Affair?
No.
So it's both movies put together. They colour, all the black and white stuff from the first movie. They put that in colour, which is pretty cool. There's more to the manga story with what's her name, Oren Ishii. There's more to her story there. There's fucking loads to it.
I've never heard of that.
It's called The Whole Bloody Affair. It's both movies put together. They sort of chronological it, but not too much because a lot of it doesn't need to be chronological. It kind of fits the way it is. So you kind of get a lot of that start off with. But the main thing is that they colour everything. So the battle with the Crazy 88 is as gory as fuck. I mean, even in black and white, it's pretty gory. But when it's full colour and she rips the fucking eyeball out, it's great. It does. I won't say it changes the experience because it doesn't. There's still two fantastic movies, and they're two fantastic movies in of themselves. Mm-hmm. But it is pretty cool to watch the whole thing in a one. And it's I think it's 3.5, 4 hours long.
Right. Is that available for purchase?
I'm sure you have to get it on import. I don't think it's ever been put out in the UK. I could be wrong. We'll double check that and we'll find out. But as far as I'm aware, you have to get it on import.
Right.
But it's fucking incredible. But yeah.
So Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah, I do love Kill Bill. And you're right, it is. It's one of the most Quentin Tarantino movies Quentin Tarantino's ever made. It's just dialogue heavy, great characters, and like you say, monologue after monologue after monologue after monologue. And that's what I love about Tarantino.
Yeah.
Mm. Would you like to give us yours, or would you like me to go first, in case I steal yours?
I'm going first.
I thought you might.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't think there'd be a huge surprise here. I did toy with the idea of another film, which I won't say just in case. I don't think you'll have chosen this one. But, my pick is Django Unchained.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to change mine now.
Was that your pick?
I fucking love Django, man.
Yeah?
Django's.
Ah!
Fuck you. I have a backup.
See, I didn't have a backup because I didn't think you were going to pick that.
Oh,
The Alan Pacino one.
Django's just fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
It's by far my favourite Tarantino film.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
I mean, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it to do with Leo, obviously. But Christoph Waltz acting his fucking
what,
ass
man?
off.
I'm gonna say it now, and I've said it before. Leo was fucking robbed.
Yes.
He should have won the... I know it's not a character you necessarily give an Oscar for, but man, that was a performance.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, like... And everybody, like you say, Christoph Waltz is doing a really good job. I didn't hate Jamie Foxx, which is a new thing for me.
I tend to like Jamie Foxx.
I tend to just hate
him. Collateral?
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
Love Tom Cruise and Collateral. Love Collateral. Just Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
The one with Jennifer Garner about Afghanistan or whatever the fuck.
Oh, that was pretty good. What was that again? That was pretty good, actually, with Chris Cooper as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Chris Cooper's awesome, though. Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No.
Oh. Anyway, yeah. Django Unchained.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... The fucking soundtrack is incredible. And it's really, really well done that you have this horrendous bloody subject matter. The bit where he's feeding the slave to the dogs and all that kind of thing. And you can still manage to have a wank to it.
Yeah. I'll have a wank to anything, me.
I know.
I once wanked at Hey Arnold, but I also cried during that episode, so not because of the wank.
So you wanked and cried?
It wasn't because of the wank, though.
That's an amazing feat.
It wasn't a sad wank, it was a happy wank.
It was a happy wank.
But then I cried because the episode was sad.
Yes, the Django Unchained. But you've got this amazing soundtrack with sort of contemporary songs, which is just amazingly done. It really is fantastically well done. As with pretty much any how am I fucking up my name tonight?
Were you going to say Kit Kat Tarantino?
Tarantino. I'm just going to stop saying Quentin.
Yeah.
As with any Tarantino film, it looks gorgeous.
It does.
And it's just a hell of a movie.
Just out of curiosity, what's your least favourite Quentin Tarantino movie? Out of curiosity.
Directed.
Yeah, we'll go with directed because that's only fair.
I don't think I have a least favourite.
No.
But, and this is going to annoy people, but there'll be a petition to fucking replace me if there isn't one already.
With Amy Pascal.
Ooh, I would listen to that.
I would listen to that too.
Yep.
Just me talking to Amy Pascal.
Least watched.
Yeah. Okay, go with that.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. See, if I can't have Django, that's going to be my number one.
I don't know why.
Is it because it was his first movie, wasn't it? So it's not.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the movie because there isn't. Fucking Tim Roth, for fuck's sake. But it's no.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Fucking not Django.
Hateful Eight.
Aye.
Yeah, Hateful Eight's terrible.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
I'm not a big fan. I'm saying it's terrible. I just think the problem with Hateful Eight is that he didn't know how to end it. And you have this fantastic, about an hour of performance from, Sam Jack and Kurt Russell. Just Sam
Jack. You want
and...
to speak about monologues.
Oh, yeah.
The Sam Jack monologue where he's telling, what's his name, about what he did with his son.
Yeah.
Where he made him suck his cock just to give him a blanket and then he shot him in the head anyway.
Yeah.
That is one of the most Tarantino movies ever to Tarantino ever. Yeah, but Yeah, I agree.
It just,
you know what? I forgot about it.
It gets to the last half an hour and it's like, I just don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. And I don't think Quentin knows.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, honestly, I think it's... Okay, I'll go with that one. Rather than Reservoir Dogs.
My least favourite, my least watched of Tarantino's movies would have to be probably Jackie Brown. I'm just not a fan. I just never was a fan. There are some really, really solid performances in the film. There is solid performances. There are some pretty good, like, Tarantino dialogues, but I just didn't get it. And I just wasn't into it from the start. And I love the fact that he was doing his Tarantino thing where he was bringing, like, these 80s actors. You had Pam Grier in there, you had Robert Foster in there, you had De Niro, who was still massive at the time, playing, like, a bit part, which, you know, I suppose De Niro can do. Fucking Bridget Fonda.
Well, he can do Warburton's adverts, so the man can do anything he wants.
Yeah,
apparently.
but I was just like, the story just was, I wasn't feeling the story whatsoever when I first watched that film, and yeah. When Michael Keaton plays a cameo and pretty much steals the movie from your main cast, there's something wrong. But like I said, if I can't have Django, I was actually toying with going with True Romance, because I love True Romance. You know I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
But that's more, for me, that's a Tony Scott movie. Tony Scott fucking stamps that shit into the ground. That is his movie. Yes, okay, he's working off Quentin's script, but it's his fucking movie. So I wasn't going to go with that. But if I can't have Django, I'm going to Reservoir Dogs, because it was my entry point. It was the first Tarantino movie I saw. Most people I knew had seen Pulp Fiction.
I saw Pulp Fiction before Reservoir Dogs.
Most people I knew had actually seen Pulp Fiction first, and I came to Pulp Fiction, I'd say about 4 or 5 years later. Like, I think it came out in 94. I was still a young pup at the time. I would have been about 10 or something like that. But, like, I came to Pulp Fiction quite late, if I'm honest with you. I'd seen a few more Tarantino movies before Pulp Fiction.
Right.
But Reservoir Dogs was my entry point, and that's because something that my dad was always big into is British actors, and he fucking loved Tim Roth. And he's like,
who doesn't?
If you're going to watch Tim Roth movies, you're going to watch Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Because he is far and away the best character in the movie. And
yeah, 100%.
He spends 3/4 of it fucking dying. And then when you find out at the end...
Like Vision in fucking Infinity War.
Well, yeah, but when you come to the end,
survive.
You're sitting there like... spoilers for Reservoir Dogs if you haven't seen it, but it is it's a good 30, 40 years old. But the when you get to the end and you realise that the guy who'd screwed over the whole fucking team and botched the whole fucking job was Mr. Orange, who's been dying the whole fucking time, it's just like, yeah, that is amazing. Like, I didn't see that I didn't realise he was going to be the undercover cop. Like, it kind of just threw me, and I'm like, yeah, love it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not as polished as his other work, but
it's not that. For me, it's not that. I don't know. I can't put my finger on why I've not watched Reservoir Dogs.
I think you should give it another go.
I mean, I've watched Jackie Brown, God knows how many times.
Yeah, I think I've watched that maybe twice.
I've seen it way more than that. I don't know. I've got it on Blu-ray downstairs.
Give it a rewatch.
And, so I have watched it a few times. I just, before I thought about the shitty one.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I've just not watched it.
It is one that people tend to leave by the wayside, but I think for me personally, it's literally because it was my entry point. Like I say, everybody I knew, I'm like, oh, have you seen this movie, Reservoir Dogs, by this guy Quentin Tarantino? It was also in, like, From Dusk Till Dawn and all that. And I'm like, fucking amazing. It's like, yeah, he did Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's way better. And I'm like, all right, what's Pulp Fiction? So I sat down and watched Pulp Fiction. I'm like, you know what? It probably is better than Reservoir Dogs, but it's where I started.
Yeah.
And that story he tells, when he's like, have you got a commode? And he's like, what's a commode? And he tells him what the commode is. And the way that's shot is just incredible. Like, the way they tell that whole little story with Tim Roth doing the voiceover, like, the scenes sort of morphing into each thing, which I hadn't really seen done. And I definitely hadn't seen done in a low-budget movie like that for a first-time director.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an incredible, like, just a great entry. And, yeah.
Yeah, fair play.
But that's only because I couldn't have True Romance because that movie fucking rules.
Well, you could have.
I didn't want to go down that road though because I'm feeling we will do a Tony Scott at one point, and that is probably going to be my number one. Spoilers. So, would you like to move into our What Have You Been Watching?
Would you like to choose?
Oh, shit, yeah. Right, who are we going to do next? Would you like to choose one?
Will choose one, Kevin. Thank you.
Go on then, Chris. This is as much your podcast as it is mine.
Well, you said that twice. I don't believe you.
Try to be patronising.
Yeah, no. Prick. Right. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. All over the desk, we've got Jaws signs. So, let's go with Spielberg.
I'm glad that went there because I thought you were going to do top 3 shark movies.
Okay, top 3 shark movies.
Sharknado 1, 2, 3.
Do you want to do Spielberg?
Spielberg. What's he done? Yeah, fuck it, we'll do Spielberg. Yeah, I think I know which one I'm going to go for.
Right.
Schindler's List.
I am not going to go Jaws.
Hundreds of wanks.
Ricky Gervais did it. I will not go Jaws because it's far too obvious.
Okay, well, we'll rule out Jaws for
I
both
am not
of us.
going Jaws, although it is my favourite movie.
Let's be honest. I'm not choosing it, so we'll just rule it
out. It is my favourite movie of all time, but I am not going to go Jaws.
Right.
Okay.
Are you going to go Artificial Intelligence?
I'm going to go Jaws 2. Although that one's Spielberg.
Right, so we are going to move into What Have You Been Watching, but we will be back with this section that we still have not got a name for, with Steven the fuck Spielberg.
Spielberg?
Wow, I've got your aids now. And if you would like to send us your top 3 Spielberg movies, or even just your top 1, we could make it a top 4 and let the listeners have a choice. But we will not commit to that. We don't commit to anything.
It's a risky little game.
It is, isn't it? It'll just be Aaron. But yeah, what have you been watching? What have you been watching coming up?
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at the History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies,
TV.
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook,
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
Damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
So yeah, this is a section, What Have You Been Watching, where we talk about the movies, TV shows, games, comic books, whatever that we have been watching, reading,
and
playing,
things.
or things. So yeah, what have you been watching, Christopher?
Well, Kevin.
Ooh.
So yeah, you've already spoken about this movie, and I promised I was going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam!
Shazam!
Motherfucker.
Shazam!
Yeah, loved it, start to finish.
It's fucking amazing, man. It's awesome.
I had a fucking amazing time watching it.
Right. What was your biggest pop of that movie? Like, what made you, like, what just, because there's a piece of the movie that I wasn't expecting, and I suppose I should have expected it watching it back again, because I've watched it again since, and I suppose I should have seen it coming, but there's a particular bit in that movie that I actually cheered at the TV. Something I wasn't expecting to do in a DC movie.
Was it the bullet?
No.
No? No. Alright, okay.
I did like when he goes, shoot me in the face, shoot me in the face.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I loved the bit when he puts the staff in the middle and he goes, everyone put your hands in. And all the kids put their hands in. And then they all turn into Shazams. You know I'm a bitch. You know I'm a bitch.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of kids from a broken home. All right.
So you're in a bunch of kids from a broken home,
holding on to a staff.
onto a big staff. Yeah.
When you say it like that, no, but yeah. But like, I was like sat there watching this film, loving this film, thinking there's nothing else they could do to make this film any better. This big end battle's going to be awesome, whatever happens. And then they all turned into Shazams. And I was just sat there like, it's fucking perfect.
I don't know. I'll have to watch it again.
Do you think that was Cavill in the suit at the end?
No.
No.
I would love it to have been.
The way they framed it, I thought they were going to do that. So he comes in, and you see the S, and the way they were framing it, I was thinking, right, one of two things is going to happen here. We're not going to see him, or it's going to stay like that, and then he's just going to sit down, and you're going to see his face, and then they just stuck with the not seeing him.
Is it confirmed that Henry Cavill's out?
I really have no idea.
Right.
I have no idea.
That would have been amazing.
1 minute he's in, next minute he's out. We just don't know. He keeps on putting things on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, hinting that he's still playing Superman, but I guess we don't know. I'd like to think he's still going to do it. Excited for Shazam 2? Yeah. I'm up for it.
Yeah. Was there a Rock cameo?
No, Black Adam.
I thought that you said that there was. Were you just fucking with me?
I was kind of fucking with you a little bit. I didn't want to give that away. It's not really a spoiler if he's not in it though. But apparently, from the things I've read, that was his choice. He asked them to save him for the next movie.
All right. Okay.
But supposedly they're working on his own solo movie as well. But he is Shazam's bad guy. But apparently Black Adam's getting his own thing. Have you seen the videos of The Rock basically ripping apart the MCU?
No.
These videos have been surfacing on YouTube, and it's basically when he's doing interviews for like Jumanji, Skyscraper, whatever other fucking generic bullshit he's released that week that I am definitely going to watch. He's basically doing all these press things, and obviously with him being Black Adam, it comes up every now and then, and he always just basically turns it into like a hate Marvel campaign. Not in like a malicious way. It's all fun because it's The Rock. He's not going to like, because he wants to keep working. So he's not going to rip apart the MCU as in, oh, they're a bunch of bastards. But
you don't want to piss off the mouse.
Do you fuck? But he's basically just like, oh yeah, I could kick Captain America's ass and all that kind of thing.
Well, let's be honest, he could.
Oh yeah, he'd rip his legs off. But yeah, so yeah, The Rock's pretty much just taking pops at MCU, but nice pops.
It's The Rock. He can do what the fuck he wants.
So he can.
But yeah, Shazam, I absolutely loved it. The answer to your question is I don't know. I would need to see it again. I did thoroughly enjoy it.
Awesome. I'm glad you did, because that's the second time I've been right.
Although, fuck yourself. I didn't refuse to watch it.
I know you didn't refuse to watch it. Yeah.
Dickhead.
Well played. Well played, good sir. That was me doing that.
Kev just saluted at me.
It was a salute. So yeah, I quickly mentioned this movie earlier. I've been on a little bit of a horror kick again. There's only really one I'm going to talk about, though. One horror movie I'm going to talk about. It was The Curse of La Llorona. Which is it's part of the Conjuring universe. It's I believe it's a spin-off from Annabelle, because you get a quick scene that sort of explains that. Linda Cardinelli as the main character. I love The Conjuring. I think The Conjuring 2, I've said it countless times, it's not just a good horror movie, it's just a fucking great movie. It's probably up there as one of my favourites, like, of all time. It's definitely nearing that list. I don't know where it would be, but this one, yeah, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but what James Wan is really good at is not relying on jump scares in his horror movies.
Right, okay.
And this film kind of relies on jump scares quite a bit. It's not a James Wan movie, though, so it's another director, so I guess he's doing his own thing. The story's pretty cool. There's this woman back in the day who she's like got this lover. She absolutely fucking dotes on him. She gets married to him. She finds out, you find this out through flashbacks. She finds out that he's been cheating on her with another lass in town. So she takes away the one thing he loves, which is his kids, his two kids, and she drowns the kids. And then
Steve.
when she dies, I think he kills her. She is basically spending the rest of eternity searching for another 2 kids. And that's how she comes across Linda Cardinelli, because she's got 2 kids. And she's just basically trying to replace her kids with 2 other kids.
All right, okay.
It's a pretty good basis for a horror movie. It actually works. It is really good. Some of the stuff is great that they do. The sort of the exorcisms that go on. It's not your traditional exorcism, because he's like an ex-priest who now believes in like shaman skills and all that. So it's not like a traditional exorcism. And
no power of Christ compels you and all that.
Nah, none of that really. It is very clever the way they do some of the stuff. It's just they just rely on jump scares a little bit too much. That's my only problem with it.
That's the thing about jump scares is
they don't work.
It takes away. It's fine the first time you watch it, maybe the second time you watch it, but the third, fourth, if you get that far, it's is that it? Is that all the movie is?
Yeah.
And there's no, like The Conjuring 2, like The Conjuring, there's more fucking scary shit going on.
The thing with The Conjuring 2 as well, yeah, you've got jump scares, but there's not really anything that leads you up to it. Like, a lot of them just fucking come out of nowhere, and you're just like, what the fuck, you know? The one jump scare in Haunting on Hill House is when they're in the car, the scene that I love, and you don't see that coming. Like, because you're too busy.
I've watched it thrice now, and I still shit myself.
You're too busy watching what's going on. In this film, it's just kind of like, oh, we're leading you up the garden path. Yeah. Something's about to happen.
Remember I said that about Winchester?
Yes.
The Helen Mirren one. Is that the movie was doing fine, and then it started that bullshit. So, yeah.
So yeah, if you like The Conjuring, if you like the universe that they're building, which we both like, the Annabelle movies, I've not seen all of them. I've seen one of them, definitely seen one of them all the way through.
Second one's better.
I've seen parts. That's the origin one, isn't it? It's like the beginning.
Yeah, Annabelle Oranges or something.
Yeah, I wish it was called that.
And see, Donald Trump did that.
Did he?
He was trying to say origins and he said oranges.
Stole that from us, prick.
Did.
Definitely listens.
Yep, all bastard.
I love Donald Trump. And
no, you do.
And if you like The Nun, which I actually quite enjoyed The Nun, didn't love it, didn't think it was the best movie ever, but I did enjoy it. It's a pretty compelling story. So yeah, The Curse of La Llorona.
There you go.
And I had to watch a certain scene about 3 times to figure out how you pronounce that name. Because every time I read it, I was like, The Curse of La Llorona.
But that's not racist.
Chris Waddle. Now remember that on the Fast Show, I think it was.
I never watched the Fast Show.
When it was like the Spanish news show, and he's gone Chris Waddle.
No, that was bloody Harry Enfield, wasn't it?
It might have been Harry Enfield. Harry Enfield's on the Fast Show.
The Spanish player who's at Newcastle.
No, that was Julio Jordio.
Was that Julio Jordio?
Aye. And he was like, shag that Danny Bear, aye, that was Julio Jordio.
The best one for me was when he was doing those of Spanish, and then he just goes, Moco pasty.
I always loved on the Fast Show was when the guy was sitting in the stadium and it was completely empty. There was fucking nobody there. Somebody else comes in and sits in the seat behind him, and he turns around and goes, "Someone's sitting there, mate." And they just kept repeating it. He was like up the Cheviots or something like that. He's sitting on the mountain, on the side of the mountain, and some guy just walks past and sits down. He's like, "Someone's sitting there, mate." Simple jokes. What else have you been watching?
Right. So, I have watched a film. It's a comedy.
Ooh.
Not
like you.
It stars Steve Coogan and Paul Rudd.
Okay.
And it is called Ideal Home.
Okay.
It gets on Netflix. Either Netflix or Sky Cinema, one of the two. So Steve Coogan and Paul Rudd's characters, whose names I can't remember, they are a couple.
Okay.
And so Steve Coogan's character, his brother gets locked up, and so his grandson has to come and stay with them. and obviously movies, he's a fuck up.
Yeah.
And so Steve Coogan's character is like the host of a sort of home bloody cookery show or whatever the fuck, and Paul Rudd is like the director of it. And so it's like, so the kid kind of comes out of their life and she just basically fucks everything up. Except it's Steve Coogan and Paul Rudd doing the acting in it. It's actually really, really fucking funny.
So are they being all serious? Or are they like being funny?
It's a comedy.
Right.
Yeah. It's a comedy. And there's a bit where the kid walks in, and so Steve Coogan is being bummed by Paul Rudd.
Sweet.
The kid's already seen everything. But they sort of try to like pretend that I think Steve Coogan is doing push-ups. Sweet. Or no, Paul Rudd is doing push-ups.
Okay.
Paul Rudd was stopping. I'm not explaining it very well, am I? No, honestly, it is really, really fucking funny.
Yeah, I think I have seen that in passing. Like I've went past it on something. I've just never watched it.
It's worth a watch. I mean, it's stupid. There are a few sort of moments that could probably make you cry, I guess.
Not
father-son shit. Not you. You're.
I've only got one feeling. I'm not wasting it on a movie.
That's true.
You know me. I'm a man's man.
Mm-hmm. You are. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I'm gay though.
Well, you are wearing a pink t-shirt.
Used to be red. Lindsay washed it. What can I say?
Mind. Ideal Home. You know what? If you're just looking for a bit of a daft movie that's funny, you're not a homophobe, then.
So if you're not Trump.
Give it a watch. It's just a nice little movie. Basically, it's there's some really, really fucking funny moments in it.
Yeah.
Cool. And to be fair, we've said this a lot lately, actually. The kid actor in it is really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm about to say that about another kid actor as well.
Yeah.
Kids are coming out in force.
Fair play.
Yeah, kids are coming out in force right now. It's a shame. We used to just like taking the piss out of the little kid actors like Jake Lloyd.
Shit in Titanic.
Yeah, he was a twat. All the little shit.
He's gonna drown anyway.
The little shit in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
All the little shit in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen, looking at you. I watched a movie. Actually, watched this last night, and I was incredibly, incredibly surprised by a couple of people in this movie. The movie's called The Kid. It is the story of the final years of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
Oh.
Which I'm like. Okay. I like the occasional Western. I'm not a Western fan as in John Wayne Westerns. I'm like a Western fan as in like Young Guns and like Westerns made like the 80s onwards.
Yeah.
You know, like not your traditional, your more modern day Westerns. Yeah. And this one, there's Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
It's the ones that are kind of less bullshit.
Yeah. So like we all know the story of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. They grew up as friends, and then Billy the Kid becomes an outlaw. Pat Garrett becomes a sheriff. And, you know, everybody knows that story. So there's nothing really new to be done here. It is the final year. I think it covers the final year of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. But what they've done is, what the director's done, it's directed by Vincent D'Onofrio, the Kingpin. Mm-hmm. He also plays a role in it. Not a big role, but he plays a role. He's taken that true story of them, and he's injected, like, a fictional story that he's made up about a young boy called Rio. And Rio is the story kind of revolves around him, and all the Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid stuff's going on in the background.
All right, okay.
But he gets forced into it. Like basically, it starts off. Rio is living with his mum, and his dad is beating the ever loving shit out of her at the start of the movie, and then he kills his dad. So like he shoots his dad, and then his uncle comes in, who, by the way, biggest fucking surprise of this movie is how good this actor is at being an absolute twat. Chris Pratt is playing one of the he's just an evil bastard, and he's so fucking good at it. Like
Chris Pratt.
We've seen him do comedy. We've seen him be the light-hearted love interest. With Star-Lord and all that kind of thing. I don't think I've ever seen Chris Pratt play a baddie.
National treasure, Chris Pratt.
National treasure, Chris Pratt.
Huh.
He is a dickhead in this movie, to the point where in the first scene, I've not even told you who else is in it. To the point where in the first scene that I saw him, I didn't realize it was Chris Pratt, and then later on he comes into it halfway through the movie again, and I'm like, hang on, fuck off. That's Chris Pratt being a dickhead. National treasure, as you say. So anyway, yeah. Rio kills his dad. Chris Pratt is his uncle. He ends up going on the run with his sister to get away from Chris Pratt. Obviously, he's going to come after him. And that's when he bumps into Billy the Kid, who is played effortlessly, flawlessly, Dane DeHaan.
Oh.
You know we love some Dane DeHaan.
We do.
And he's so fucking good in this movie. He's a young actor. He's still a young actor, basically chewing the fucking scenery against some other great actors, one of which is about to come up. So he's sort of like, he bumps into Dane DeHaan, he bumps into Billy the Kid, and Billy the Kid's like, dude, I'll fucking help you out. I'm going to help you get away from your uncle. But Pat Garrett's after me. It's going to be hard. So Pat Garrett comes into the movie, Ethan Hawke.
Fuck off.
And we know how much, Ethan Hawke can just act like a bastard when he needs to.
Uh-huh.
So he plays Pat Garrett, and that story kind of plays out the way we all know it does. How Pat Garrett, don't believe Young Guns 2, Pat Garrett did apparently kill Billy the Kid by shooting him in the back or some shit like that. Young Guns 2 will have you believe it otherwise, but that's because it's Young Guns 2, and you don't kill him in the rest of it. But yeah, so that whole story plays out exactly how it's supposed to, with little hiccups along the way because Rio was inserted into the story. And when you read, I love the fact that wasn't, that particular part of that story isn't necessarily true. D'Onofrio made that up to sort of just add in a little fictional story to keep things going and all that. But you still get the main overarching thing. And then obviously you get Chris Pratt just being a dick. Fucking dick, man.
I'm going to have to see this.
But the kid that plays Rio, I think he's called Jake Shearer. I haven't seen him in anything else. He's really, really fucking good. He kind of looks like a little mealy-mouthed just arsehole to start with. You're like, I'm not going to get on with this character. But then as the movie goes on, and as his character kind of because obviously he sides with the two guys, but obviously he sides with one and then sides with the other and then sides with one, and you don't really know where his allegiance lies, and it's kind of, oh man, he plays it really well, he's perfect. D'Onofrio, this is I think it's his second directing film. Don't know what his first one was, I've never seen it, but apparently it's a total just flop.
Oh.
And if people see this movie, which I really don't think a lot of people will see it, but they should seek it out, they're going to love it, because he's done a fantastic job.
Good. Yeah. I will watch it.
And it's a genre we don't see very much of now, like the Westerns. But I think that's why it's good that he's telling a true Western story, but he's just throwing something in there to sort of keep it ticking over. And like I say, Chris Pratt, man, he's just a bastard. There's a bit in the movie, oh man, where Ethan Hawke's got him dead to rights kind of thing, and he's looking at the kid, and the kid's halfway up the stairs, and he's like, I'm going to come up there and I'm going to choke the fucking life out of you. While he's got the gun pointed on him, and I'm like, oh fuck. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to come up there, I'm going to choke the fucking life out of you. And he just starts walking up the stairs while Hawke's got the gun pointed on him, just grabs the kid by the throat and just fucking holds him over the banister, and I'm like, he's going to choke the life out of you. Chris Pratt's going to choke the life out of someone. Chris Pratt, man.
You can't do that.
No! He's a lovable rogue.
A rogue?
He's Star-Lord.
National treasure.
But yeah, the kid, seriously, if you get a chance to check out the kid, please do. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a really good film, really well done. It looks visually beautiful. Done on I think it was an £8 million budget, so not much in film standards today. And you've got some hefty performances in there. And Dane DeHaan, man, he's just incredible.
He is. Yeah, he is. I am going to watch that. That sounds really good.
I feel sorry for that kid sometimes, because he just doesn't seem to get the break. Let's be honest, Amazing Spider-Man 2 should have been the break. that should have been the big budget movie that threw him into the limelight.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't, because it sucked. But
It didn't suck.
it was just top heavy, was what the problem was. They were trying to do too much in one film.
Yeah, they were trying to do too
Trying to set up like 7 different franchises
Yeah.
in one go. But yeah, so The Kid, give it a watch. D'Onofrio, man. A director I feel we should be looking out for.
I am going to watch that. Yaha.
And Adam Baldwin as well from Firefly. He's in there. You know, I can't remember his name in Firefly. Kelly? No.
Adam Baldwin.
Right. What have you been watching?
Okay, I am going to stay on the Western
Ooh,
theme.
a Western.
That was actually quite
It's a
good.
fucking rolling pin.
That was less good.
Sounded better in my head.
Yeah. The first one was okay though. Yeah, Deadwood. Have you watched it?
I haven't,
No.
because I knew you were going to talk about it.
Yes, I am.
Talk about it as much as you want. I don't mind having spoilers, but I will watch it.
I'm not going to give spoilers because it only aired on, I think, like Sunday night or something.
Does anybody know it, Ed?
Fuck you, Sky Atlantic. Fuck you, all over the shop and upside down.
HBO were all over it. HBO in America, they were fucking all over Deadwood. It was all over Twitter, Instagram. It was everywhere. Sky Atlantic, not a peep.
Not a fucking thing.
You know what I knew, right? I watch some films, not necessarily completely legal. Right?
Oh,
You know how I knew Deadwood was out? Because it was on my Cody box. And I was like, shit, Deadwood's out? That's how I knew.
but like,
And
you
I
know,
have Sky.
I've got Sky Q and it tells you, like on the home screen, it tells you like new programs out and all that. Nothing, not one fucking thing about.
It's terrible.
Why?
It's terrible because it's
Why
like...
would you do that?
Deadwood's one of those cult... I bet you any money if Breaking Bad made a movie tomorrow. Breaking Brad? Bacon Brad. Bacon soda. Right. If that made a movie anytime soon, it would be everywhere.
Yeah.
But Deadwood, no.
But Deadwood is every much as beloved as
yeah.
as Breaking Bad.
If not more.
You know, why?
It's mental. I don't get it.
I do not understand that. It's a fucking... You know, it's a show that anybody who's actually watched it... Okay, so it's a few years old. It's a good few years old. I think it was 10 years ago it actually finished.
Yeah.
So fine. But so was the fucking Sopranos. You know.
And that's getting a lot of traction, so...
Pardon me. But I don't understand why Sky Atlantic, who gets the HBO shows here in the UK...
Yeah.
I don't understand why they wouldn't pimp the fuck out of that.
It doesn't make sense to me either. I really don't
Because,
get it.
I mean, you know... You get things all the time. You get adverts on the like on demand stuff, like this box set available to download.
Yeah.
And they're always pimping Deadwood, this fucking show.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they bloody do that? Anyway,
how's the show?
Very,
The movie,
very
sorry.
fucking good.
Yeah. Is it I mean, no spoilers, but is it like a closure piece?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. So yeah, it falls on. It actually is 10 years.
Oh, nice.
Since, you know, since the events of the last episode of Deadwood. So it's like a 10 years later thing. And then, you're basically just thrown back into Deadwood. You're just straight away to Calamity Jane, who is pissed.
Nice.
And then it sort of pans up and over, and then you see Deadwood, which has grown... You know, in the last 10 years, and then it just shows you a bit of Deadwood, and it shows you sort of some of the new stuff, shows you some of the old stuff, and then like I say, you're thrown straight back into it. You get some fucking swidging, you get some woo, you know, you get reintroduced to the characters that you fucking loved on the show.
Yeah. Everybody back?
Yes. Yeah.
Powers Booth?
Powers Booth is not back because Powers Booth is dead.
In real life or in the show?
No, in real life.
Right.
Isn't he?
Shit. I didn't realise that.
I think he is.
No, I think you're right, yeah. I do think you're right.
I'm sure he is. So Powers Booth is not back.
He was great in 24.
He was. Anyway, so, well, everybody apart from Powers Booth is back, including the Doctor, who I actually thought had died, but there you go.
Nobody remembers that.
No. But, so Swidgen has been drinking too much.
Nice.
And he's got all the AIDS.
Oh.
I know. So he's like, that's his sort of arc in the movie, is that he's kind of come to terms with that while also still drinking because it's Swidgen.
So is he a goodie this time around? Is he like...
Swidgen always was a goodie, in a way.
An anti-goodie.
Yeah. Well, it's what HBO does best.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Soprano.
Yeah. Not Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah. Shut up. We'll get there in a minute. So that's what's going on with Swidgen. But then, what's his name? Is it Hirsch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The big bad from season 3?
Yeah.
So he is now like a senator or whatever the fuck. And he's wanting to buy up all the land around Deadwood.
Of course he is.
Because,
Westerns.
Aye, because Westerns. And so he may or may not be involved with the death of one of the characters from the show.
Not Timothy Olyphant. No.
No, they can kill him.
Nah.
No. And not Swidgen.
So his thingy in it again is, what's his name? Oliphant's pal.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually in it?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
And so is Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones.
The Troubles, Jeffrey Jones.
The Troubles, Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, fucking, you know who Jeffrey Jones is.
Was that his name in the show?
No. Jeffrey Jones from bloody Devil's Advocate and that.
Nah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who did he play in Devil's Advocate? Eddie Barzoon?
Yes.
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you now, yeah.
He's like caught, I don't know, kiddie porn or fucking some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I just know the Troubles, Jeffrey Jones from We Hate Movies. But yeah, he's back, and I think that's the first time he's been on screen in quite a long time.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering, it's John Hawke that plays the best mate, isn't it? But he's like an Oscar winner and everything now, so I was kind of like, would he return? Like, I'm glad he has, though. That's cool. But then again, Ian McShane's pretty big right now as well, so... You know.
And he's still as much Swidgen as he was 2 years ago. He's great.
No way.
He's fucking great.
Is he all Swidgen, or is there little hints of Lovejoy?
Oh, there's massive hints of Lovejoy.
I wish they'd bring back Lovejoy.
So if you don't remember, in the final episode of the show, Trixie, who was one of the Whoers, who kind of fell in love with Timothy Olyphant's mate.
Right.
Kind of. So she tried to kill Hirsch, whatever, in the final episode, but she missed, and then they faked her death so that he would come after her. But then he finds out that she's still alive. Because she is. So he kind of, it's just, he's a cunt. He is a really, really good big bad. Is it as brutal as the show? No.
Right.
No.
I suppose, though, like, the show was out at a time when TV, you could take those risks. You could really go for that. You're not really getting away with it that much nowadays.
But it is every bit as good as I remember Deadwood being.
Yeah.
The performances are phenomenal, as you would expect from Deadwood. You know, the cinematography is incredible, as you would expect from Deadwood. It is really, really good.
I'm going to give it a go.
And again, fuck you, Sky Atlantic.
I'm going to watch it, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that either. I really didn't get that, because that was like, at one point, Deadwood was like HBO and Sky Atlantic's like flagship show.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about HBO shows over the years, you've got your Deadwood, you've got The Wire, you've got Game of Thrones, you know.
But like, imagine, I'm assuming that when the Many Saints of Newark comes out next year, is it?
Next year.
2020, aye. It'll be a cinema release.
Oh God, I hope so.
But if it wasn't,
It'd be everywhere.
and it was an HBO release,
Yeah.
and it was going to be on Sky Atlantic, they'd be pimping the fuck out of that.
Imagine, right? They released it on the anniversary of Tony Soprano's death, like James Gandolfini's death. Imagine.
Don't do that.
I'd be crying before it even started. Right.
Yeah, do watch it. Please watch it. Everybody watch it.
I'm definitely gonna.
When I downloaded it from Sky Atlantic, it said that it was only available till the start of July, which is also bullshit.
Right.
So please, if you're in the UK and you're listening to this, do go and download Deadwood 2019, as it's called on the fucking thing. It is worth the watch.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a watch, and I'll let you know what I think next time. Yeah. So I've got 2 movies left, but one of them I'm not going to stay on for too long because it's literally I had the chance to see it. It's still very new. I watched the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Fucking love it. They took everything that was wrong about that first movie in 2014 and threw it away.
Did they bring back Bryan Cranston?
No, you couldn't do that. I did think they were going to do a Bryan Cranston in the movie because Vera Farmiga's in it.
All right. Okay.
And in the trailers, they made a big thing about Vera Farmiga being in it. And then there's a scene in like the first 10 minutes where it kind of looked like she's about to die. I'm like, oh, you're going to Bryan Cranston the fuck out of this. But no, she doesn't die.
Good.
But it's basically... I've seen a lot of reviews. I've been reading a lot of reviews, and a lot of people are pissing and moaning about it as they do.
Petitions?
And a lot of people, no petitions yet. And a lot of people are loving it. And it's funny because the main complaint that I'm reading is if you like big monster movies where big monsters are fighting big monsters, you will love this movie. But if you're more the type of person that wants a big monster movie with those like heavy-handed story in there, you're not going to like this one. So basically,
is it like a bloody is it like your 2012 where it's all explosions and
there's a lot of that,
like disaster porn?
There's a lot of that. It is just big ass monsters fighting against big ass monsters, but that's kind of what I want in a Godzilla movie.
Well, yeah, fair play.
Like, I remember when I was a kid and on Channel 4 they had the old Japanese Godzilla movies on, and like there was very, very rarely a human actor in those movies because it was just Godzilla fighting Mothra or Ghidorah or someone like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, modern day Godzilla fighting the fuck out of Mothra. And, you know, if you want to cut away to a character to give some exposition, fine. But people are complaining that all the actors or all the characters doing the movie is a little bit of exposition. And I'm like, that's all I really give a fuck about. Like, I want it to kind of be like Mortal Kombat, where you get a fight, and then it cuts to somebody who basically introduces the next fight, and you get the next fight. That's kind of what I want from a Godzilla movie.
Fair play.
And it's just pure glory shots.
I never, ever was into Godzilla.
No.
In any way.
You've said that countless times.
I never watched them. I watched the Matthew Broderick one and fuck that.
That's amazing.
I watched the Bryan Cranston one and fuck that.
The Bryan Cranston one is terrible because I read somewhere the other day that in an article that basically said in the 2014 Godzilla gets 8 minutes of screen time. That's not a Godzilla movie. That is just not a Godzilla movie for me. Like, 8 minutes, fuck you. 80 minutes, please. 80 minutes. This one, you probably get about 80 minutes.
Fair enough.
It's great. I do love it. Yeah. I do love it.
I am not going to watch that. I have got no interest or desire to see that at all.
That's a shame. But I don't really want to talk too much about it because it is pretty new and it's fucking great. And Thingy from Stranger Things, what's her name? 11 or 7?
11.
She's in it. And
Seven is 7.
She can scream. She can scream really well. Which again is all I want my humans to do in a Godzilla movie. But yeah.
And say gorilla.
oh, he's back. Ken Wantabe. He doesn't go, let them fight. Like, he doesn't do that this time. Kyle Chandler, Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. Anybody who knows me, I gush over Friday Night Lights, by the way. He's in it, and he's dreamy. So, But yeah, I wanted to end my little movie section because me and Lindsay, before we went away on holiday, watched the Zac Efron starring Ted Bundy movie. What's it called?
The fucking what one?
Ted Bundy movie. He made a Ted Bundy movie?
Zac Efron did?
Aye.
Oh. Fucking hell. Why did I have bloody... the guy from fucking Scrubs in my head there?
That's Zach Braff.
Yeah, stupid prick.
Stupid.
Yes, I also watched that.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
What did you think?
I liked that they didn't show any of the murders.
Yeah.
I thought that Zac Efron did an incredible job playing him.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
I'll agree to a point. I think he played it very well. I do think he played it well. But, and I know there's not a lot of like video evidence out there of Ted Bundy or whatever, like, because why would there be? But the videos that are out there of the court cases and stuff like that, I just feel like Efron was kind of holding back a little bit on the charisma. Because, let's be honest, he was a psychopath and a dickhead and a murderer. He was a wanker. But boy, was he charismatic.
Yeah.
As they usually are. And
well, not all of them.
I just kind of felt like Efron didn't want to play him overly charismatic because you don't want to glorify him, do you?
Well, the sort of thing that I had with the movie is I got the feeling that it spent a good part of the movie trying to, or implying that he was innocent.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, they were trying to do that a little bit.
And okay, so the guy professes innocence always.
Yeah.
But then that was part of his game.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't what I was expecting it to be.
They spent way too much time with the wife as well.
Mm-hmm.
They kept flip-flopping back. Haley Joel Osment, fuck him. Why did they spend so much time with that character?
Yeah, I really didn't give two shiny shites about her meeting someone else.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice to see Haley Osment still getting an acting job. But I was kind of sitting there like, I don't care about this story. You know what? You haven't shown me a murder yet, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, I'm quite alright with there not being a murder. But if it's between showing me some murders or some more Haley Joel Osment fucking drooling over her, give me a murder. Like, please, just give me something other than this shit.
Stupid tiny face.
Oh, he has got a tiny face on a massive body. Yeah. I just don't get it.
You don't get it.
I mean, I think we enjoyed the movie. It just wasn't what we were expecting.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I would agree with you. I thought Zach Braff was excellent. Fucking hell, where did that come from?
I'm no Superman. But yeah, I just felt like he was dialing back on the charisma. But John Malkovich was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He was awesome. Don't point your finger at me, son. Yeah. John Malkovich could literally read the phone book to you and it would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to quickly mention that one. I was really looking forward to that one. And it kind of disappointed me a little bit. So what else have you been watching?
One more movie.
Whee! Shit.
Similar to your Godzilla. I'm not going to do too much about this. It is John Wick 3 Parabellum.
Yeah, you went to see this, didn't you?
Fucking hell, it is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking good.
I will see this one eventually.
Okay, so we're into June now. It is easily the best movie I've seen this year so far.
It's not hard. I mean, come on, Endgame came out.
Shut up. But, yeah, it is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Really, from start to finish. Myself, Paul Byrne, and other Paul went to see it, and within the first 5 minutes, there was a fucking hell moment with a fight that ended very, very badly for not John Wick. Not for John Wick.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Aye. And it's just bloody balls to the wall the entire way through, as you would expect.
I've heard it's pretty much as soon as it starts, it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I don't know if this might interest you or not, probably, maybe. So,
Are you
as you know
shared universe?
No. As you know from John Wick 2, so it ends where he's about to be, was it?
Yeah, everybody's
excommunicated
getting
or
the
whatever.
messages, yeah.
Excommunicado.
Oh.
So that's where it picks up, basically, except it actually does it quite well. Unlike fucking The Dark Knight Rises. So he's excommunicado or whatever. So he's trying to, but it's like he's got an hour at the end of John Wick 2.
Yeah.
So it's still within the hour at the start of John Wick 3.
Cheating.
So he's trying to like get himself fucking repaired up and all that because he's been through it in John Wick 2. He's trying to get himself repaired up and then so he can
go and
escape,
everyone.
basically. No, not yet. But so things happen and the movie moves along as tends to happen for some movies.
That's what movies do.
Yeah, some movies.
Yeah.
And then and this is where when we left the cinema, I said a sentence that I never ever thought I'd hear myself say.
Halle Berry was good in that.
Give me a Halle Berry spin-off.
Nah.
Okay, not Halle Berry, the two dogs. She's got 2 German Shepherds.
Right.
And they are fucking badasses.
Cool.
Like,
I don't want a Halle Berry spin-off of anything, to be honest.
Yeah, fuck them. Give us the 2 dog spin-offs.
Yeah.
Right,
I'll watch that.
Yeah, they are so fucking badass. They really are. They've got like armor on and shit. And like there's a big, incredible John Wick-y like shoot at. That was terrible.
It was.
You do it.
What? Shoot at?
Yeah.
I can only do Western.
A Western.
Like a Western. Got a talk like it got marbles in your mouth.
Wankers.
Anyway,
so there's a shootout and the dogs are fucking going about all over the place, dotting all over the place, just fucking tearing cunts up.
Nice.
And it is fucking fantastic. It really is. And yeah, it leads, no spoilers whatsoever, but it leads pretty much into John Wick 4.
Yeah, he's pretty much signed up for it. Yeah.
No, I think he has.
Yeah. He's got to do Bill and Ted 3 first, though.
And your bloody fast fucking movie.
No.
Oh,
no.
Fuck.
Well reminded, because turns out that might not be so solid news. Even though everybody's been reporting it as pretty solid news, it turns out it might not be. He may be turning up in the Fast and the Furious franchise instead of Hobbs and Shaw. But I'd rather see him in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. I am interested in seeing Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Because the trailer looked pretty good.
Also, rumour has it, and I really don't know how true this one is because I haven't found any other websites to thingy it. So it could just be like one of those clickbait things. But Ryan Reynolds might be in it. Playing a CIA agent, which Ryan Reynolds does like to do.
Is he going to be cheeky?
He does like to be a CIA agent. Oh, yeah.
He probably says what he thinks.
He's a rogue.
Prick. Aye, John Wick 3, very, very, very good.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I will see it. I will, definitely.
Any TV shows?
I've got a couple of TV shows. One of them I've spoken about a couple of times already on the show, but I finished Cobra Kai Season 2, and fuck me, is that not the best show on YouTube? No, like, honestly, I wish another company would pick this up, because it doesn't deserve to be on YouTube. It's better than YouTube. But
you don't hear many people like going on about, was it YouTube Premium now? Did you say?
Yeah, YouTube Premium, and they make YouTube originals. Like, nobody's talking about YouTube. It's fucking awful. Nobody talks about it. Cobra Kai, Netflix, fucking Hulu, I don't care. Somebody pick this show up and take it away from YouTube. You could do it so much justice. The funny thing is, it's already really fucking good. Like, the last episode alone had me... I fucking shouted at the TV, basically. I actually shouted at the TV, which was quickly followed by, like, a little cry, which was quickly followed by, like, just...
Lindsay calling you a wanker.
Lindsay did call me a wanker, but not because of that.
I see.
So basically, the whole of the second series is Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do. So Johnny Lawrence has got Cobra Kai, and Machio's got Miyagi-Do. And they're training the different kids, and they're all kind of like having a little bit of set to every now and then. But the last episode is basically a massive riot in the school where all the kids are just kicking fuck out of each other. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, loving it, you know, because it's a lot of long one takes, where these kids are, like, pulling off these karate moves that, like, you know, fair enough. A well-trained martial artist or a well-trained team of martial artists, it's nothing. But these kids were doing everything on time, hitting their marks, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is pretty fucking sweet, like. But you get a scene right at the end that literally just stopped me breathing. Fucking heart stopped pounding. I was just sat there watching it, and I was like, fucking hell. Like, when it happened, fucking hell. Literally, those words came out of my mouth. They also came straight out of Cora's mouth. And I got called a wanker. Because Cora was sat there on Lindsay's lap and literally looked at me and went, fucking hell, clear as you like. Just 2.5-year-old. She's like 3 in a month, 2 months. And yeah, clear as day. Fucking hell.
Awesome.
Yeah. That capped off my Cobra Kai season 2. It's definitely coming back for season 3. I can't wait to see where it goes. It ended pretty bloody grim, to be fair. But it totally took my breath away. The last 5 minutes took my breath. I just couldn't fucking breathe for 5 minutes. It was unbelievable. So good. So good. Kind of like, you know that feeling we had at the end of Planet of the Apes 2?
Yeah.
When we were in the cinema? It was like that, but it wasn't a cinema full of like 200 people who just fucking lost the will to breathe.
It was you and Lindsay in the bed swearing.
It was me and Lindsay in the bed swearing. It's amazing when kids swear. They do it so well. Like, especially a 2.5-year-old. Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, Cobra Kai season 2. If you're not into Cobra Kai, that's fine. If you are, give it a watch. If you were ever a fan of Karate Kid, because there's a lot of Karate Kid throwbacks in this series. You even get the fight. You get half of the fight that you're hoping for, which is like Johnny and Danny, kind of like Daniel having like the fight, and you kind of get the start of one, but then it gets cut short, and you're like, "Ooh, you rascals, teased me really well there."
So has Ralph Macchio done any karate?
Yeah, he's done quite a bit actually. Yeah,
Right.
just not on the one guy you want him to do it on, because you want him to fight Johnny, and you want Johnny to fight Daniel, but they're kind of becoming pals.
Oh shit.
But then something happened towards the end of the series that stopped them being pals for a minute, and they had an awesome little fight in the hotel room, and then it got cut short.
Was it a fight?
It was actually, and
or did they have all the sex?
I'd have been alright with that. Like, it is YouTube Red. I'd have been alright with all the sex, but I took some fighting. Yeah, but yeah, we've seen some leg sweeps. Daniel's got the dust off.
Has he done the kicky thing?
No.
Shit.
Aye.
I just want to see him do the kicky thing.
Yeah.
And the wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I have got 1.5 TV shows to talk about because the other one hasn't finished yet.
Ooh.
The first one, it's on Netflix. It's called When They See Us.
Oh, it's amazing. Fuck me.
Have you finished it?
I've not finished it. I've got the last episode to watch. It's so good. That, talk about child actors.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. I love that show. I really, really, really do love that
yeah,
show.
holy shit.
The shit that those fucking police in that first episode, what a bunch of twats. Bunch of twats. Does it skip into the future at all? Like, do you see them as older kids? Right.
Yes.
Have I watched all of episode 3? Does that happen in episode 3 or?
No, I think it's later on than that.
Right. Okay. Because I was sitting there last night trying to figure out if I'd actually watched all of episode 3. I definitely started it because I saw the bit when John Leguizamo was like talking to his brother in front of the mum, and he's like, dude, he's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't do that shit. Like, I saw that. I definitely remember that, but I think I might have fell asleep. But yeah, what a show.
It's very, very good.
So well written as well. Really, Joshua Jackson, the Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
And Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga. Yeah. Great show. Took me by surprise.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, actually. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. To be honest, I just saw there was a still of Vera Farmiga on the Netflix preview bit, and I thought...
But you've got a chub for us, so you might as well watch it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I put it on, and very, very good.
Sucks you straight in, doesn't it?
And, it has you kind of going, like, fucking hell, that could have been me, except not black.
Yeah.
And not rapey, maybe.
Yeah,
well,
probably rapey. I think that bit's true.
Well,
I don't really want spoilers because I've not finished it yet. But do they ever go into who actually did it? Does that ever get brought up?
Yes.
Because I've spent the last 3 episodes sitting there thinking, why is no one even looking for anyone else?
Because
they've got the guys.
Because they've got the guys.
It's fucking bullshit, man.
But yes, they do.
Right.
They do.
Okay. And is it one of them?
Spoilers.
Your face said it all. I didn't see anything. You were like a blank canvas.
Poker face. Yeah.
So what's your half a show?
The Virtues.
Right, yeah.
Have you been watching this?
I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
I'll not lie to you. I'm waiting until it's finished.
Yeah, it's a good call because I'm on edge. I really am on edge with it. So, Stephen Graham. Holy fucking shit, man. Well, it's Stephen Graham. You'd expect nothing less.
Yeah, man.
He's just incredible. And, I watched the first episode and I messaged you. Makes bloody This Is England look like a sitcom. So he's a fuck up, but you don't know why.
Right.
Yeah. And there's
He's
only one where
they're fiddled with by a priest.
Oh, I hope not. But so kind of the story expands as I think it's only like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So his story expands as it goes on, episode to episode. Okay, fine, as most things do.
Shane Meadows. That's how he does it.
But so it kind of. I don't think this is really a spoiler, but I think it's episode. Was it episode 1 or beginning of episode 2? So he goes to Ireland,
right,
and he meets up with his sort of long lost sister, and they were separated when they were kids because both of their parents died, and so they were separated. So she got taken in by a family, but they only wanted a daughter; they didn't want a son, so they got separated. This is going to kill you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I already know it is.
Are you already awake?
I don't even have to watch it, and I know it's going to destroy me.
And so in episode 3, you get told that he was taken into like a boys' home.
Yeah, he gets played with.
And honestly, mate, I'm on edge watching it. I really am, because it's like, it's Shane Meadows and it's Ireland. He's going to get fucked. He's going to get fucked. He's going to get fucked.
It's Shane Meadows, and let's be honest, a life in Shane Meadows' world doesn't get much worse.
But so there's one more episode to go. Yeah. He's fucked up, but we still don't know why. It's gonna be about fucking child rape.
Of course it is.
It's like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I have to see what, because it is so well written and so fucking well acted.
It's Meadows, man. Meadows and Stephen Graham, like, there is no better combination.
Only thing that would have been a little bit better is if you had some Vicky McClure. Yeah, honestly, I am like because they do it really, really well. Like the bits where they're flashing back to when he's a kid, it's like a sort of like 80s VHS
nice
kind of play. It's all like crackly and fucking
Love
it's like a smaller like 4x3 whatever, and so they do a flashback where he's being taken into the boy's home. And he's been shown where his bedroom is and all that, and they've also got Stephen Graham actually current in the home because he's like going back there for the first time, and it's like a wreck.
I'm not watching it.
It's so it's like deserted and it's like derelict or whatever, and so he's broken in and he's walking down the corridors where he was the flashback going on at the same time as he's walking back as a man. He's also walking down the corridors as a kid being taken into this home for the first time. And honestly, I was watching it with my bloody hands over my mouth like that. I was, the only way I could describe it was I was on edge.
Yeah.
And fuck off Shane Meadows.
It's Shane Meadows, man. He's so fucking good though.
But it's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
And
virtues, man. The virtues. It's definitely, it's fucking paedophile priests. 100%.
Unless, you know, Shane Meadows was like, you know what, I am doing a drama set in Ireland. Everyone's going to expect it to be about child rape and paedophile priests. I ain't doing that just to fuck with them. And it's actually going to be like happily ever after.
It turns out like he beat someone up and he never got over it.
Or maybe he watched Bambi and like just never got over it.
He could never trust Disney again.
Yeah, so it's the final episode this week at some point. I can't remember what night it airs, but I am dreading it and also looking forward to it.
I'm waiting till it finishes, and then I'm gonna do it night after night. I'm gonna do like 2 episodes and then 2 episodes.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, because you need a break after 2 episodes.
I will give you a warning if it's grim.
2 episodes of Shane Meadows, you need a break. Yeah. Oh, and I need another This Is England, another series. Like, I want like a This Is England 2020. I want to see how the This Is England crew deal with Brexit.
Jesus. Can we not just... See, that's the thing. You can't do that shit now because we're all living it. Yeah, so that's my half a show because it's not actually finished yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I am done.
I can't wait to see that. I'm looking forward to it, but I also know that I'll probably just be locking myself away for the day. The only other show that I had to talk about is Netflix did something I really didn't think Netflix would do. They brought a series out last year. Well, they bought a series. They called it Netflix Original, as they do, called The Rain. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Was that the one with the shitty voiceovers?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the TV show. Like, for all its voiceover flaws, I really enjoyed the show because I thought it had some really good potential to go somewhere. Season 2 came out unceremoniously. It just kind of showed up. And I downloaded it for the plane on the way back on the Netflixes to watch on the way home. And, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Season 2 is really good. It really expands on the universe. Like, the first series was kind of like very closed. It was mostly underground, and it was like the brother and sister, and then they bump into like a group of 4 guys, a couple of people chasing them. Very, very, very compact. This one, they really expand on what actually happened and what's going on in the world. So that was good. And they kind of went the way I thought they were going. How the brother has got like he has this virus inside him, but he's immune to it. So it's sort of mutating inside him.
Ooh.
Which I was kind of sitting there thinking, he's going to end up with some sort of superpower. And he does. But really good show. The voiceovers are still fucking terrible.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
Like, they need to find better voiceover actors for that show. Because right now it's just not working. But it's got really, really strong potential to be something. I just kind of feel at some point Netflix is going to go, nah, we're done with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what I was going to tell you when I was on about John Wick. Is, yeah, like, as it goes on in that, I completely fucking... yeah. it turns into kind of the Raid in the Continental.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I like that. The Raid in anything, really. Like Jailbreak, the Raid in a prison. Which we kind of had in the Raid too.
Yeah. With mud.
With lots of mud.
Lots of mud.
Loads of mud.
I can't remember why I forgot. Sidetracked. Yeah.
So John Wick turns into the Raid in a hotel block, kind of like Dread.
Dread is not in a hotel.
No, like a tower block. Yeah. So, you got anything else?
Nope.
No?
That's me.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Hey everybody, this is Henno.
And this is Stephanie.
And we're from the Gotham Lights Podcast.
Also, the Orville Lights Podcast sometimes.
They are two podcasts dedicated to the television show Gotham
and the Orville.
Now, where can they reach us, Steph?
I'm so glad you asked, Henno. You can find us on Twitter at Gotham Lights. You can also find us on Facebook, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Just by searching Gotham Lights. Gotham Lights Podcast at gmail.com.
Let's do Game of Thrones then.
Game of Thrones Season 8 happened.
It did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what I'm going to do, right? I kind of have a little way that we can go through this, deal with some issues, and we can cover some of the choices. Let's call them that. We're going to talk about the season finale, and we'll go through the season finale, and we'll pick up little bits and pieces as we go through.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I mean, where do you fucking start with this show? The season finale, season 6 of episode 6 felt like a whole fucking season every episode. Episode 6 of season 8 kicks off right after Daenerys has gone mad in the shortest heel turn in history of fucking heel turns. She's gone mad. She's decimated King's Landing, and they're all walking through the rubble, and there's a lot of just staring and walking and staring and walking and staring and walking amongst the destruction, which at this point I'm okay. I'm actually okay because I've had a week to get past that shitty heel turn, so I'm actually okay with this. Yeah, it's a lot of Peter Dinklage just walking around, but this kind of leads us up to him sort of going down into the catacombs because, like, sort of sees all the thing, and he's like, he needs to go and see if Jaime and Cersei got out. And I'm bringing this bit up because this, for me, is the biggest fucking travesty of season 8. The biggest travesty of season 8 is the way they dealt with not only Jaime but Cersei. I think both characters were fucked over. Both characters. But I mean, the good thing for Lena Headey is she's charging like $1 million an episode. So she's alright.
That's mental.
She's charging $1 million an episode, and she had 6 lines of dialogue in season 8.
So she got to... What?
Not season 8, like...
Yeah. She got $1 million to stand and drink wine. Fair play.
They fucking ruined that character. They butchered that character. You had this badass bitch all the way through season 8, season 6, 7, and 8. Badass Cersei Lannister. Fucking nothing's gonna stop her. Like, nobody's gonna take King's Landing. Nobody's taking the throne. And then in episode 6, she bitched out, didn't do fuck all, and tried to run away.
She just stands there? Like... Right. I have got nothing wrong with Dany being the big bad. I called it pretty much. I think actually in season 7, I think I actually called it that Dany was going to end up being the big bad at the very end.
It's been common.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong at all.
Nothing wrong with that. But Cersei is how you turn her to the dark side.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Cersei is the game. She's the cerebral assassin of the fucking of Westeros. Cersei is the one who fucks with Dany so much over and over and over again that when it comes to it, you know, like she just tips her over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
There was no fight. There was no fight back.
Nothing.
Once those stupid bloody arrows that work 1 minute and then fucking they're like little pencils the next minute. Once they're done, there is no defense of King's Landing.
Nothing.
Cersei has got no surprises up her sleeve.
Nothing.
That's not Cersei Lannister. Cersei Lannister would have something up her sleeve to fight back.
She's a Lannister.
She doesn't give a fuck about the people, but she would have a plan to save her own life.
Mm-hmm.
But there is nothing.
No, she waits for a bitch-ass brother who has been my favourite character since episode 1. I fucking love Jaime Lannister. He is, for me, the best character in that show. Maybe Tyrion gets close, but he's the best character in that show. And the reason for that is because he has a phenomenal character arc. From the first time we met him, you know, the sister shagging rogue who's a cocky cock, pushes a fucking kid out of a tower, you know, doesn't really care what happens. And then he went from being that guy to being like the Kingslayer. He killed the Mad King. Fucking nobody really likes him because he did that. He goes through 8 seasons of hell, of absolute hell. Yes, he's a dick, but most of the time, when you really look at it, he's doing it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, people just didn't really get what he was doing. So he goes...
Even the bit where he rapes Cersei and Joffrey's...
Big time.
Thing.
Big time.
All right, okay, fair enough.
She's an asshole. She's a fucking bitch. So, like, you've got all that happening, and he has this arc which... Because the Game of Thrones, for me, you had, like, 2 or 3 compartmentalized stories, and one of them was the redemption of Jaime Lannister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get that. He knights Brienne of Tarth, which is an amazing little scene. He shags Brienne of Tarth, which, like, anybody who's a fan of Game of Thrones is like, I've wanted that for the last 3 series. I
could have taken it earlier, to be honest.
I wanted them to get together. They are, like, the one true pairing of this show for me, because I'm a Jaime Lannister fan. And then he's like, he hits it and quits it and fucks off back to King's Landing for literally no reason whatsoever. Because he wasn't going there to kill Cersei.
No.
Like we maybe thought he was going to do. That was never an option. He was never going to do that. So why did he go?
Well, it's never because of the reason. It's never explained. It's never, like...
They destroyed him. They destroyed his character.
Yeah, they did.
And you know what? Bullshit. When you're telling me Jaime Lannister, who knows just about everything about King's Landing, the Lannisters know King's Landing inside and out, but you're telling me a bunch of unsullied fucking slaves can fucking catch him trying to break into King's Landing, and then he has this little, like, this heartwarming scene with Tyrion, which is probably the best scene of that episode. Like, their little exchange is good, but the guy who killed the Mad King, because he was going to destroy his own people. Remember, that's why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for his own gain. He did it because he was going to destroy his own people. Literally turns around to Tyrion and says, the people, I don't care about the people. Literally says he has no compassion for the people. You kind of do, though. You've kind of proven that you do.
But then, like, season 1... Jaime Lannister didn't give a fuck about the people. Season 1, Jaime Lannister just wanted to fuck his sister.
So yeah, told. But then why did he kill the Mad King?
Well, that comes in later once he's a good guy. So that also kind of doesn't fit.
It was also part of his. It was part of his character from the get-go.
Well, I know that he they start saying, well, the Kingslayer thing always kind of broke him. You know, that nickname broke him because he did it for a reason and all that, which is fine. That's fine. That, you know, of all the problems, that's not.
I found it to be a big problem. I just found the dealing of his character was a big problem. Like they ruined him. They really did.
But you see, the thing is, it wouldn't have taken much. It wouldn't have taken much to do it properly.
You know what it would have taken? Better writers. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this out now on Front Street, right up front. I I'm not calling them bad writers. I just think when it comes to original stories, when it comes to writing something for themselves, they're not great. Because they adapted George Martin's work, which apparently for the longest time was impossible. Like, people said it would never work.
Mhm.
TV show, movie, it would never work. Like, you can't do Game of Thrones. You can't make it into, like, you know, on-screen thing. And they did.
Yeah.
And they did it very well for 5.5 seasons. But once they caught up to the material and caught up to the books...
that is when it's struggled, obviously. And there's no... I don't think there's anybody who would dispute that.
No, not.
It did still keep me in.
But was that because you were just invested? You'd spent that long on it? Like,
No,
you
no,
stick
I
with
think
it?
that...
I suppose not, because you walked away from Walking Dead, and so did I. So, you know, you can't really fault commitment on that. It's like...
No, I think, you know, like, season 7, okay, there were major flaws with it, but I think that there were enough moments in season 7 that it kept me in. And it kept the story going, okay, not as well any way, you know, any way, shape or form as the previous seasons, but it still kept me in, and it still had me looking forward to season 8 like a son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think the thing is, well, though, like, they knew ahead of time season 8 was it.
Yeah.
Like, from all the interviews I've seen since, they knew during season 8 was it.
Yeah.
So why weren't they building season 8 storylines in season 7? Instead of fucking wasting time on stories that weren't really going anywhere, they were just doing their normal Game of Thrones thing where they take their time. Yeah, take your time building to the end. Don't just say, right, we're going to do 6 1.5 hour episodes and fucking forget about every single fucking thing we've built up over the last 7 seasons and just do whatever the fuck we want.
That's what I don't get, though, is, okay, so you take your time, and then fuck it all in 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm. And 2 of them were filler. 2 of them were just pure filler. It was like...
That's the thing, like, the first 2 episodes for me were really, really well done.
Yeah.
Of season 8. It was the you know, our characters that we've spent time with for the last 7 years, preparing for the battle that they were probably not going to walk away from.
And then everybody knows.
Okay, with a couple of exceptions,
Sure.
they all walked away from it.
Yeah.
That was where it fucking started to struggle. You know, that's where it started to fall. Is so all of these people were preparing to die the next day. You know, and it was an unwinnable fight against the dead, the army of the fucking dead. The Night King, who has been plaguing them, who's been a badass for fucking, you know, like for the first 5 series, we only saw maybe 3-4 minutes of him.
Yeah.
At the very most.
Yeah.
And then they're coming for them. They're coming for Winterfell. And okay, that episode. Well, a lot of people bitch about the fact that the episode was too dark.
Yeah,
and
I do disagree with that.
Don't agree with that at all.
Yeah,
I think that the sort of genre that they were going for in that, or the feel that they were going for in that episode was horror.
It's real.
It was pure horror because they're fighting the army of the dead.
It's real. It's dark. It's claustrophobic as fuck.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you're out in the open, but you're in the fucking dark. You know,
so you're in battle. You're in the battle with your heroes, and I've got nothing against that. I've got absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. The bit where, you know, like sort of the bits with Arya where she's actually inside King's Landing and she's hiding from the fucking walkers or whatever you call them in Game of Thrones, and you know, she's trying to avoid them and everything. That's fucking pure horror right there.
It is pure horror, right? It is pure horror. But this is Arya. we spent a season and a half with Arya learning how to be a faceless assassin, learning how to creep in and out of places
Yeah,
unknown.
I get what you mean.
But all of a sudden, she's in a fucking library in Winterfell where the doors are like White Walkers walking around, and she's shit scared.
And then, well, the scene before that, she was taking them all out with the double-edged fucking lightsaber.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean. I get what you mean there.
Where's the faceless assassin that they built up for a season and a half, and then in season 8, when it would actually be a pretty fucking handy trick to have, doesn't use it once.
Yeah.
Not once does she... I literally thought, this is the way you know the scene when Bran's at the tree and the Night King's walking over to him. Forget your overpowered fucking 20 million yard jump that she does. I genuinely thought he was going to go up to her and Bran was going to stab him. And there was going to be like this moment where it's like, holy fucking shit, Bran's done something.
And then Bran does
the thing.
That would have been
and
good.
It's Arya. So Arya.
That would have been good.
But no, she's got this amazing fucking superpower.
Force jump.
She turns into a fucking Olympian and fucking long jumps. Like, across what I would imagine is a whole crew of White Walkers, by the way.
But then we see the White Walker with the long hair.
Yep.
Like he's wind. The fucking wind blows his hair. And then the next thing you know, Arya's jumping out the dark. Now, as a visual, it looked great.
Yeah, it did look great.
For the death of the Night King, what you just said would have been way, way better.
It would have been better, but that's not my biggest problem with Arya killing the Night King. Like, I'm okay with Arya killing the Night King. She is a badass. She's an assassin now. She doesn't use it very often, but she is a badass, and I'm fine with that. I was able to be like, okay, I'll give Arya that kill. But the thing that did piss me off was you had Jon Snow, who they, again, character building. They'd been building him up. They'd teased 3 times in the last 4 or 5 seasons the Night King and Jon Snow facing off.
Mm-hmm.
They teased it. The Battle of Hardhome, when he stood there and he's got the arms out and they're just locking eyes with each other. They teased that face off all those times. And then when it finally comes to the point where like Jon Snow could actually get somewhere to kill the fucking Night King, he's doing fuck all.
Yeah.
He's getting fucking... He's playing hide and seek with the dragon.
Although I did like the dragon with the bust throat with the blue light, blue fire. I liked.
It was cool, but do it with another character.
Yeah.
Don't do it with Jon Snow.
And
he's a fucking Targaryen.
Yeah, I know.
Dragonfire.
I agree.
Does Dragonfire not harm Targaryens? Are they not like fucking immune or some shit?
Blue Dragonfire does.
But yeah,
and that was the other problem that I had with that episode is, okay, so you got your dragons fighting.
Yeah.
And it was always going to come down to how do you actually do that. But, you know, season 7 ended with the ice dragon fucking basically tearing down the wall.
And then did nothing.
And then did nothing. And so, okay, so you've got some nice shots of they're above the clouds and the moon's there and all that kind of fucking thing. It's a little bit like
Never Ending Story.
A poster that a fucking teenage boy would have on his wall.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But then, okay, so when the dragons were actually fighting each other, I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. Now, I know that I just defended the darkness of the episode, but for me, the darkness wasn't the problem there. It was the fact that you couldn't tell which dragon was which.
Yeah, why have they not got dragons shooting fire at each other and light up the screen a little bit? Light the skies up with the fire kind of thing.
Bloody, where's our, we spoke about visuals, of Iron Man and bloody and Cap. Where's the fucking fire versus the ice?
You didn't really get that.
Where's that visual?
Nah.
The fucking Sky Atlantic bloody logo had that visual.
They were too busy fucking wanking themselves off when they were writing it.
But where's the Where's the moment that we were all expecting of when the fucking ice dragon bloody blows its fucking muck at Daenerys or Jon or whatever, and one of their dragons, Drogon or the other one, bloody fires back, and then you get a proper fucking, like a proper bloody Harry Potter moment where it's like fucking fuck off.
No, I'll give you
what
that.
I mean?
I'll give you that.
Where's that fucking moment?
I know. So then, like, so we've dealt with Tyrion having a little cry, which I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, they could have stepped a couple of yards to the other side and they were fine, but whatever. Because that cavern was definitely not caved in. Whatever. Fuck's sake. So yeah, that all happens. And then we kind of cut to a somber-looking Jon Snow, because that's all fucking Jon Snow's done this series.
Yeah, he's Angel. He's turned into Angel.
Yeah, he's looked into the distance. He's got 1,000-yard stare. And then we get to the bit that I kind of... I wouldn't say I was pissed off about it. I just didn't really understand what the fuck Grey Worm was doing. When he was like, he had all the gold guards, the Golden Company, which turned out to be the biggest fucking wet fart ever. Like, they've built the Golden Company up for years.
Yeah.
And then they were taken out in one foul swoop. Which, I suppose if you're trying to show how much destruction she can do is okay. But, dude, you bring in a faceless, generic fucking Prince Charming looking twat to do nothing.
Yeah, where the fuck did that shit come from?
Yeah, they just needed someone. They just needed someone. And my question here was, the question I'm leading up to, and it's only a little thing, but it's another thing, like, Season 8, it smacked of this all the way through, was how Jon has this little set to with Grey Worm, then he keeps on walking, and somehow Grey Worm got past Jon and to the top of the stairs before him, so he could be there for the big, like, Third Reich speech. Which I was just like, how the fuck's Grey Worm done that? Now he's got special power. He's Arya.
Because he's Batman.
He's fucking Arya.
Yeah. And by the way, do that.
What?
Do the fucking Third Reich stuff.
Yeah.
You've got Dany dressed up like fucking Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And, when Jon Snow's walking up the bloody stairs and all that, and she's the... What do you think of the visual of the dragon taking off behind Dany?
A, as a visual aesthetic, I liked it. B, I knew it was just them two wanking each other off. I knew it was. Like,
yeah.
Did you watch any of the little vignettes at the end of the episodes?
No.
Did you watch any of them?
No.
Oh, they were fully fucking buzzing with themselves. Like, they thought they were creating TV gold. Like, people are going to talk about this shit for years. Yes, we are,
Yes,
by the way.
Yes, we
are.
And by the way, worse than Dexter.
You said that. You literally said that the week before. That the worst thing, that the one thing you're worried about is that, well, Dexter didn't look that bad now. And you're right. And you know what? There was like 100 memes the next day after that, with pictures of like Game of Thrones season finale and a picture of Dexter underneath in that scene when he's a lumberjack, basically saying, doesn't look so bad now, does it? And it's like, yeah, you're right, 100% you're right. I mean, this final episode spawned a million memes, basically.
But yeah, give us that. Give us the bloody Third Reich, Dany. Do that. Fucking do that.
They
but then you need another episode there.
Yeah.
You need another episode of Dany just fucking... Okay, she's Hitler now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what she does.
The Dothraki aren't my cup of tea anymore. You know what?
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Wipe them out. Get rid of them.
Let's be honest. In episode 3, they were wiped out.
And then they respawned.
In episode 6, there's another 20 million of them.
But you know what? If she did that shit, if she says to Grey Worm, like, after... So Hitler Dany goes... You know what I mean? She says to Grey Worm...
Go and invade Poland.
Not Poland. But she says to fucking Grey Worm, you know what?
Go and find out what's west of Westeros and conquer it, because fuck me, that was shit. But yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there now in a minute. But yeah, she goes bloody well Hitler. She goes fucking Nazi. She has the bloody black flag with the fucking red logo on it. When the fuck did they have time to do marketing?
It's pretty heavy-handed, like, isn't it? I do love it, but
how does Daenerys have a marketing department?
Because the Dothraki were away making flags for her.
For fuck's sake. Is that where they all went?
Yeah.
It took 20 million of them to come up with that.
It was like, you know what, man, we're winning this. Let's go make some flags.
You know, fucking do that. Bloody well run with that. Fucking have her turn into a complete and utter bloody bastard.
Yeah. And that's the problem. They wanted us to believe that she was the big bad all along, and they did nothing to deserve that.
No, they didn't. There was nothing to deserve that. There were okay, so throughout the series there were suggestions, you know, where she crucified the masters and all that pish. But that was all for the people. I've
heard this complaint before, like, oh, but she's been like that all the way through, and it's like, yeah, she killed masters, she killed slavers, she killed a fucking brother who's a dickhead to her. She kills all these people, but she doesn't kill innocents.
Yep.
And then in a fucking episode 5 of season 8, she does not give a fuck. They surrender. The bells go off, which they set up in it's like season 2 or something, when Stannis is talking to Sir Davos, and Davos is like, when you hear the bells and all that, that's like the sign of surrender. They set that up to be a thing.
This is how you do it, right? So you use that. You use that shit. Tyrion's told her, when the bells go, the people are all about you. They're surrendering. They're fucking done with Cersei.
Yeah.
They're surrendering to you. So, you know, she kills all the fucking pencil bloody arrows and all that shit. She fucking takes out the fucking gold pricks. All of that's done, and she's won.
Yeah.
And then Cersei like surrenders. And so Daenerys goes, right, you know what? I'm the good guy here. I accept your surrender. And then out of the crowd, they go full on fucking jihadi on her. The half of the crowd are like, what the fuck's going on? The other half are all bloody firing shit at her. They're all fucking going for her. And then Daenerys is like, you bastards.
Yeah.
What happened to the bells?
Yeah.
You know what? And then she goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And this was all Cersei's plan, to draw her in so that they could kill the fucking dragon. Cersei dies. She goes, what have I just done? Cersei gets killed, but she's not done there. The people have betrayed her. She fucking goes for it.
Them. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, something like that. And you take another episode to do it. But yeah, 100%. Because they surrender. You have that 20-minute scene where she's just like staring into space. Obviously she's like, oh my god, I'm becoming the Mad King. And then after they've surrendered, who is it that throws the first punch or the first arrow or the first spear or the first blow? Who is it? It's fucking Grey Worm. Grey Worm's the first one that actually goes, you know what, fuck this.
So you are basically, when all's said and done, your big bad is Grey Worm.
Pretty much, yeah.
In the final episode, because
we'll get to Grey Worm in the final, because fuck me. So yeah, all that happens. She has this big speech. One thing I do want to give props to is Tyrion in that scene when he comes out and he throws the pendant down the stairs. That is great. I actually really like that.
Kill him in that scene, though. Kill him in that scene.
Yeah. Again, as I've said to a few people, season 8, you had 2, possibly 3 absolute prime moments to kill Tyrion. Absolute prime moments. Fucking when he's at the bottom at the gate and he's like shouting up to Cersei when she kills Missandei. When she kills her. You know what would have been great there? Just a hail of arrows comes flying down at Tyrion. Like, because I know Missandei's like her best friend and his girlfriend, which I guess means something. But take out Tyrion at the same point, because that's her main advisor.
Yeah. And that's what I mean is, you know, So Cersei has pushed her and pushed her and pushed and just is being Cersei.
She hasn't though.
But no.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
By
play
doing
it
that,
way.
she's pushed her over the edge. And Dany is still the good guy there because she's willing to accept Cersei's surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Even though bloody Missandei's dead.
Missandei.
Whatever. But yeah, that would have been a good moment for Tyrion to die. The bit where he throws down the hand of the king thingy.
Amazing.
Fucking have drawn fucking get him then.
Fucking force kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Dracarys.
And also, talking of moments that you could have killed someone off, Arya.
Okay, where would you have done Arya?
At the end of episode 5, you have that prolonged moment.
Oh, when she died like 6 times.
You have the prolonged fucking moment where she's found the white horse.
Oh! I missed the white horse. Right, okay, crack on.
That you never see again.
Where the fuck did the horse go? This scene that was like symbology.
But then, do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, that's actually
Dany
her.
is fucking Dany. Arya is right up in the sunset on the perfect white horse, like fucking something Gandalf would ride.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of the final episode, Tyrion, Jon Snow, whoever
finds her body.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
It.
That would have been awesome.
And that also lends towards Jon Snow doing what he does.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, that white horse, people paid so much attention to what happened with that white horse. And they were like, it's symbology. She's like one of the four horsemen. She is now death.
Oh,
she's Lady Death. And then Weiss and Benioff were like, what white horse? There was a white horse? Nah, I don't remember that. Fucking, nah.
It was great, if anything.
She's just walking, yeah. And then she actually uses what I would assume to be her assassin skills to creep up on Jon Snow. Which I was kind of like, holy shit, Arya, well done. Where was those skills the rest of the series?
Where'd you park the horse at, Arya?
Oh man, fuck me. So yeah,
but that wouldn't be good though, no?
It would have
been a nice little moment if
it would have been good, and
Jon Snow finds Arya's body.
It would have made sense to why the fucking horse was there. Because now I'm just like, so there was a horse there, but no, there's not a horse there.
Yeah.
Because she rides off, and then the next time I see her, she's walking.
She's
so
dead.
Yeah, it would have made sense. So they have the big like Hitler Third Reich speech, which wasn't quite as powerful as I would hope. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more.
Some Hitler hand movements.
Yeah, just something, man, just something. And then we kind of go to where did we go after that? Was the next scene kind of it was Tyrion and the cell,
Tyrion was
wasn't
locked
it?
up.
Because we had
Jon
a few.
Snow was coming to see him.
He's trying.
Jon Snow was visiting him.
He's trying to talk him into doing the right
and
thing,
then
kind of thing.
Yeah, so he's talking Jon Snow into killing.
Which I was like, fuck's sake, just get on with it. I'm at the point now, get on with it. And then they go into the throne room. Dany's finally about to sit on it. But before that, we get a really wanky fucking CGI dragon hiding in the snow, which I just didn't get. Like, nice visual, decent visual, didn't get it.
Again, like something that a kid would have on his...
Yeah. It was just their way of saying that the dragon fucking respects him and, like, nobody else could have got to Dany at this point, but he gets in. And basically, I genuinely could not have given a fuck when he stabbed her, when he killed her. Could not have cared less. Knew it was coming, you could see it coming a mile off. This is what's happening. Really don't care, because you know what, Jon Snow? You've done fuck all. You've done nothing this series. Not a thing. You've survived countless battles. Mm-hmm. You've been killed by your own brothers. You've been brought back by the fucking red fucking witch, whatever. Why, I don't know, because he did fuck all past that.
Well, if he was the one who was destined to kill the Night King, or even if he was, okay, so he's destined to fucking end Daenerys' bloody reign of fucking evil before
Yeah.
it begins. But then you have to tell us what that's going to be like first.
Yeah. We have to know that it is going to get worse before it ever gets better, you know? It's like, why the fuck, you know? Because really, he just didn't really do it for any reason. He just sort of like, oh, you've gone a bit mental. He does give her a couple of chances, which I quite like the writing there. I was okay with the writing in that scene when, like, he's sort of like, basically saying, do you not think you've gone too far? And she's like, fuck this, we'll fucking rule them all and all this. And he does it 3 times. It's quite subtly done, where it's sort of like he's giving her a chance to sort of pull back a little bit, and she ain't doing it. So he's like, right, fuck it, you're gonna have to die now. Which I was like, yeah, but you ain't done anything else the whole series, so you're not getting anything off me. And you know what? Kiss my ass with the melting of the throne. Kiss my fucking ass for that shit.
So I was watching that episode with Paul, and I bloody turned round to Paul and went, so Drogon does political statements now? Because that's all it fucking was.
And then flies off.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that was actually... I think Bran, right, had walked into Drogon at this point and set the Iron Throne on fire for wheelchair access.
To make a ramp.
Yeah, to make a ramp.
You know what? Do that.
Make that the crack.
Fucking do that.
And then we basically get like a series of scenes of like people talking, and we do a time jump that is the most disconnected time jump I've ever seen in a TV show ever. It just turns out they've all got beards now. And I do want to talk about this scene. Because this is the scene that A, made me the happiest of the whole series because Mr. Toby Osmond, but also B, vexed me to no fucking end. The writing in this scene is so incoherent and so fucking disjointed, and they forgot what they were writing from one sentence to the next, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So you've got like basically a cast of people who, you know, have been minor characters throughout this entire travels, throughout everything. The only main people you have there are the Starks, the 3 Starks, and probably Sir Davos. How the fuck Sir Davos is still alive, I'll never know.
But yeah, again, talking about people who didn't do shit.
Yeah, he just advised people.
Yeah, well, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like the bridge crew of Voyager, the bridge crew of Enterprise.
Yeah.
So it's the bridge crew of Game of Thrones are in the fucking seat. And Toby.
And Toby. Which, bless him, I love Toby. Toby's amazing, and he's great in that little scene and everything. But why was he there?
Give him a line.
He did have a line. He said aye off screen, but he said it. He did say aye. So anyway, you've got this little scene where Grey Worm basically brings Tyrion to the new council, right? Oh man, this scene is so fucking atrocious. So basically, I love the fact that Grey Worm says, this guy is our prisoner, to this new council. Mm-hmm. This guy's our prisoner. We are not releasing him. Jon Snow is also our prisoner. We are not releasing him. Right? This is Grey Worm, who basically right now commands the people who fucking decimated King's Landing. And he follows his queen. Basically, the whole thing about the Unsullied is, and the Dothraki, in fact, is that when one Khal dies, the Dothraki especially, when a Khal dies, the person who killed that Khal, or, like, takes over from that Khal, which would be Jon Snow, by the way, because he fucking killed her.
I never thought of that.
He becomes the new Khal.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Right? So they should be on his side. The Dothraki should be on Jon Snow's side. So then
give us the Unsullied versus the Dothraki.
And who the fuck arrests Jon Snow? He was the only one in the room. There's no fucking body.
Give us Jon Snow. Give us a fucking action scene.
Yeah.
Give us Jon Snow versus fucking Grey Worm.
I think Kit Harington had checked out by this point. He checked out
like, I really want my hair cut.
By episode 3, he checked out. And as we found out in subsequent, and it's shit. It's horrible to see, but he's recently checked himself into rehab.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible. Like, you hate to see that in an actor, especially someone who this is still pretty much the start of his career. I know he's been doing Game of Thrones for 8 years, 9 years, but it's still the start of his career. He's still got more to go. It's horrible to see, but you have to think that it's season 8 that's done it to him. It probably isn't. It probably isn't. I'm just being facetious. So yeah, you've got this whole scene where Tyrion. Put aside the fact that Grey Worm really doesn't have a say in fucking anything right now because he's a mass murdering asshole. Really.
Yeah.
He murdered innocent civilians, but somehow...
Although, he got some badass moments in there, to be fair.
He did a little bit.
With his spear.
He did, I'll give him that. So, like, put that to the side. Tyrion is...
Who is public enemy number 1 and under arrest.
Public enemy number 1, under arrest for treason against his queen, under arrest and everything. And what do the council do? The council ask Tyrion for his advice. And at one point, even ask him to be the new king. Would he take that position? Somebody who's under arrest for treason, fair enough, she wasn't their queen, but she was a queen. So they kind of have to, by the rule of Game of Thrones, they have to play by those rules. They're trying to get the Unsullied to fuck off and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. So this mass murdering fucking asshole, they bow to his commands. Like, okay, we're going to send Jon Snow to be basically King of the North, King of the Wildlings. He's going to go up there and do what he's pretty much wanted to do since season 1.
Similar to Dany turning to the dark side. I didn't have anything against that's what happens to Jon Snow. And
because that's what's supposed to happen.
I didn't have anything against that.
Yeah. But why?
But fuck you.
Yeah,
that's it. That's basically it.
Why are they bowing to Grey Worm? Fucking Grey Worm, of all people. Why are they bowing to him? Why are they listening to his commands? And so Davos is like, take your people and go to North, because that's where you were going to go anyway, and find a house and build a population of fucking Sir Davos. Fuck you, asshole. Yeah, you have that whole little scene. That scene just fucking makes no sense to me.
It is bad. And it started off okay-ish when the fella who was all bloody kidnapped and that by the phrase stands up and tries to put himself forward as king, and Sansa tells him to sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
I like that.
And even Yara, when Yara says something and Arya's like, say that again, I'll slit your fucking throat.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh, I forgot Arya was a faceless assassin. Yeah, that's a thing.
And then?
Right, so... Okay. Because this is, for me, this is the biggest fucking... This is the worst piece of writing I've ever seen in a TV show. I didn't really care at this point who ended up on the throne. Didn't really bother me. Didn't really give a shit. I had someone that I'm like, okay, if we can have that, that's cool, but we're not going to get that. And the reason... They asked Tyrion if he would like to be king, because, that's how it works. You just ask someone if they want to do it. And then Sam stands up and says, well, maybe we should let the people decide, have a democracy. And they laugh at that, which is basically Weiss and Benioff just saying, fuck you.
Brexit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That was them having a laugh at the current political fucking climate. They all laugh at that and tell him to sit the fuck down because, A, why the fuck's Sam there anyway?
Well, he's the Maester now.
I think it was just because they wanted another face that people knew.
Yeah. Or the Maester and or Beverly Crusher.
Basically, yeah. And so Tyrion turns around and says the king should be chosen by us, and it should be the person with the best story. The best fucking story. Right. How many characters do you think there are in Game of Thrones? Over the last 8 seasons, how many characters do you think there might have been?
200-300?
All better stories than Bran. Every single one of them.
Most of them were around that fucking thing.
Yeah. Everyone around that room. Toby had a better story than Bran.
Toby had a better story than Bran. Yes,
at least he was the Prince of Dawn.
Put Toby on the fucking throne. Put Gendry on the fucking throne.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking claim to the throne.
Yeah, he isn't.
He's Robert Baratheon's son.
But then again,
it goes right the way back to why Sean Bean died at the start.
Yeah, it would have made sense.
Gendry on the fucking throne.
It would have made sense. But you've also got, you know, not to get too deep into it, because he did want to live north of the wall and everything like that. But you also have the actual heir to the fucking throne, who actually has a way better story than Bran, who actually has survived war after war after war, survived being killed by all of his mates, survived everything. He was the fucking bastard child of Ned Stark, so he's...
I mean, what's the point then of all of that bullshit, or all of the stuff of building up, and like you say, building up, and then when you're finally told at the end of season 7, he is a Targaryen, he is the rightful heir to the throne. Season 8, when it starts to build up that Dany's going to be the big bad, because she finds out that, and she goes, well, don't tell anyone. Are you fucking kidding me?
Why was he a Targaryen in the first place? Like, why?
What's the... If he's not going to end up on the throne, what is the point of all that?
They basically... Again, they bowed to Grey Worm. Why the fuck did they bow to a mass murdering fucking prick? Like, no, we can't let Jon Snow be the king, even though he is the rightful fucking king. He is the heir to the throne, but we can't let him be because Grey Worm doesn't like him.
He's going on a ship.
Because he killed... Exactly! There should have been that scene when fucking Jon's saying goodbye to everyone, and there's actually a meme of it, when the ship's fucking floating away. Is he gone? Yeah, he's gone. You're the king now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he wasn't going to give a fuck. He was fucking off the north. So why did Jon even leave?
He should have just gone, right, okay, Jon, Grey Worm, Tyrion, whoever's got the biggest nerd is going to be king. Whoever's got the least amount of nerd is going to go to the north.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, he who has the best story. So let's talk about what Bran's actually done for a quick second in the last 8 seasons, because the only thing I can come up with was he fell out of a window.
He fell out of a window and then
became a cripple,
and then got dragged about a bit by Hodor. Better story.
In fact, let's just talk about that for a second. Bran, the all-knowing three-eyed raven, who apparently has known about all of this since the very fucking start. Bran, who is so noble and has the best story and has the best of his father's intentions, who basically went back in time, walked back in time, to purposely break Hodor's fucking brain so he would become a bumbling fucking idiot and carry him around for 4 seasons. He fucking did that.
He's the worst person on earth.
He's the biggest bastard ever. Bran, who fucking had visions of the dragon flying over King's Landing and basically, well, you assume that he knew it was going to fucking decimate everything. Bran, who let Dany turn to an absolute cunt. Bran, who
said in the season before, whatever, when Sansa went, well, you should be the king in the north.
Oh, but I can't be.
I don't want to be king in the north.
No.
I'm not Bran Stark anymore. Bran, who then said, why do you think I came all this way?
Talk about just fucking...
Fuck you.
I'm telling you, man, they wrote things and they thought they were so clever, and they wrote things.
I just going back to We Hate Movies. Dude, I've got it.
I don't even think it was that, because that would require some good storytelling. Like, when you smoke weed, you probably write better stories than this shit, because they forgot every fucking thing they set up for the last 8 years.
And Bran the Broken, by the way. Fuck off.
Why do you think I came all this way?
Yeah, that was...
Well, first of all, you didn't have a choice because somebody fucking pushed you all this way. So there you go.
You ain't got a fucking electric car, mate.
Exactly, you fucking idiot. But so then they spend the next hour of the episode building wheelchair access all around King's Landing because Bran's the new king.
And then they have their council meeting where... Okay, let's talk about the council meeting then. So what do you think of the new council?
You mean the fucking rogues gallery of people that now run the King's Landing?
Right.
The fucking biggest bunch of fucking retards in the show.
So, well, Sam is the new maester. That was coming.
Yeah, that was coming. I'll give him that. Sam deserves that, I think.
So Sam then presents the there and back again.
Oh, fuck me. You want to talk about the biggest fucking hand job ever? They were wanking all over that. That was awful.
We're like we're like fucking Lord of the Rings right here. Get it? You get it? You get it? There and back again. Oh, but stale, better than fucking Game of Thrones.
I came up with the title. No, you fucking didn't. George R. Martin did, you prick. Kind of looks like George Martin, I guess. Yeah. I suppose I play a big part in this. You're not in it.
Well, that's some whole shit.
Bollocks. Tyrion's been the most important fucking character. Fair enough. He's been an absolute idiot. Season 7 and 8. But we didn't even talk about him and Varys, two of the smartest characters in the show, basically turned into turnips.
Yep. The two who had each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the guy who saved Tyrion's life. Yeah, that's fucking...
Have you seen the video of that when they're all sitting around the table doing the script reads? There's the one with Kit Harington when he realises that he kills Dany and he starts crying, which I guess whatever. Okay, I'm fine with that. But there's the one of Varys, which I think is incredible. He's sitting there and they're sort of reading through it and all that, and he clearly reads a couple of lines down, and then just sort of closes the book and puts it on the table and sits back. Not happy, like...
It's like fucking...
raging face.
Like bloody Friends. I fault in an elevator shift?
Basically, he sits back and he looks fucking pissed.
Oh, I've not seen that.
And Emilia Clarke just sort of like looks to the side because she sat beside him and she sort of looks over to him. She's like... And it's like, oh...
Fuck you blonde bastard.
Oh, I don't think anybody was happy. I don't think anybody was. But you've got, like I say, you've got Varys and you've got Tyrion, who, as you say... They've had each other's back since day one. Yes, they're a couple of conniving little bastards, but they've always had each other's back.
Yeah.
And then, in the last series, you have them sitting in her war room, basically, her little fucking fake throne room, conspiring against her together. He grasses on Varys, which he would never do. Tyrion would never do that shit.
Tyrion doesn't do that.
No. And Varys doesn't see it coming. Of course he sees that shit coming. Yeah.
Where's the little bird at?
Well, you got one. You got little Maggie, who apparently there's a whole thing about how she said she was taking the food to her.
Mm-hmm.
That was him trying to poison her.
All right. Okay.
Again,
that makes sense.
Again, tell me that.
All right.
But it's fucking mental.
Braun, Master of Coin. I was okay with that. I was alright with that.
It's Jerome Flynn. You may as well.
Fuck it.
Whatever.
Yeah. Who, by the way, is in John Wick 3.
I suppose they had to tie up his whole thing about how he was gonna fucking bullshit. Bronn going to the fucking to Winterfell to kill them two. I'm kind of
again, do that. Fucking do that.
I'm semi okay with it, but do something with it.
You know what? She's paid me a lot of money here. I'm gonna fucking do it. Do that.
And then it's like even the scene with Euron. When he goes to kill the Kingslayer, which, by the way, I didn't know that was a big thing. He's like, I got to kill the Kingslayer. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't think anybody else was trying. You're the only one that tried to kill him? Well done, prick. And I would like to ask the question of the writers of how good of a fucking swimmer he is.
An excellent swimmer.
Because not only... does he swim what looks to be a good 10 miles from where the boats were at King's Landing? It looks to be a good 10 miles. Not only does he do that, but he lands up on the secret fucking beach that nobody in the whole fucking King's Landing knows about, apart from Lannisters. He lands there just when Jaime Lannister does.
The Force.
I mean, stories, I guess.
The Force.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, that was another one. That was another moment. I think it was episode 5... and this is another one that should never happen ever, is when Daenerys said to Jon, it's fear then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought of Revenge of the Sith, it's treason then. And I thought, I should never ever have to say George Lucas did it better.
George Lucas did it better. He
did it better.
I'm sorry, but this fucking series...
You know, like, okay, if the new Star Wars trilogy, or the not new now anymore, but the new episode 3 is doing it better than you.
And you have to worry now, because these are the cunts, these two fucking idiots, this Weiss and Benioff. They're the ones, and it's not just that they're doing a Star Wars trilogy or doing a Star Wars movie. They're in charge
original.
of Knights. They're in charge of Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm-hmm. And it's not okay. So it's not exactly original.
It's not original. There's enough to draw from. But do you really trust these guys on Knights of the Old Republic? Because it's just as important as Game of Thrones was. It's just as important.
Oh, of course it fucking is.
And
we want Toby as a Jedi or Sith or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we're shitting on the episode. We're shitting on the series as a whole. Like, there were some decent moments. There were some good moments.
Well, there were. Let's do that then, because our top 5, we are coming across maybe that we fucking the whole thing was ruined for us. The entire show was ruined for us. That is not the case.
It's not the case. Not
our
at all.
Our top 5 on this episode is top 5 Game of Thrones moments throughout the entire series.
You want to end on a high note?
Because we have loved Game of Thrones for the most part. For the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So. We don't want to have it. It has been slightly sort of spoiled a little bit by the way it was ended, but we don't want it to come across like that. So let's talk about, before we go into our top 5, what did we like about the final couple of episodes? Go. Okay, the Hound versus the Mountain.
Yeah, I like the Hound versus the Mountain. I really did like that. It was a bit. It was a bit silly the way it was placed, but I'm perfectly happy with the silliness, because that fight, if it had just been on a level playing ground, it would have been shit.
The death of the fucking Maester.
Oh, that was good. Qui-Gon.
That's a Game of Thrones death.
That was great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I loved how the Mountain tried to gouge his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
A call back to Oberyn. I loved that. Sort of making you realise, I suppose you already kind of got that sense, but yeah, he's the Mountain and he's all zombified, but he's still got like a sense of like fucking brain in there, because he recognises his brother and he recognises that, yeah, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, I'm going to go fuck you up.
Yeah, because even Cersei's like, come back, Sir Gregor, or whatever he is, or Clegane, or whatever. And he's just like, nah, fuck you, I'm having this fight.
And then she goes, I'll just
Yeah.
I'll just squeeze past here. I love that. I did love that.
Again, while she's doing that, why the Hound doesn't just fucking do the same as the Mountain did to Qui-Gon? Just grab her by the fucking head? I don't know. Stories.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even... Yeah. Arya. Right? She has a list. She's had this list since forever.
And Cersei's on it.
Cersei's on the list. In fact, I think she's like probably second from the top, maybe top. She's up there.
She's probably...
Well, she's the only one left on the list.
Well, the Hound is still alive, but...
Yeah. So she's been travelling all over the place to take people off on our list, cross people off on our list, and then she travels with the Mountain to King's Landing to kill Cersei.
He walks her in
to the place where she is.
as if she is the biggest badass of all... But fair enough.
Yep.
Of all time. Get me to Cersei.
Yep.
She's like Ben Affleck in Pearl Harbor, and that's a reference I never ever want to make again.
And then he turns around and says, "Don't be like me," and she goes, "All right," and walks away.
Yeah. All right. Then okay. I take it. I take the point. I've got a horse to go and see.
Fuck me. Oh.
Right.
I've got to go and fake die 6 times, maybe real die, but it doesn't matter because the writers will forget anyway. So. But the Clegane Bowl, as I'm calling it, with the Hound and the Mountain, is good. There's some really good callbacks to like previous seasons within that fight, which is good when they do shit like that. It's a bit marred by the fact that they keep cutting away to Arya almost dying every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But then when he realizes I cannot kill him,
he just does the spear from hell.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's great. I love the way that went.
I would have liked to, if they'd just done like a fucking Terminator moment, where the mountain just gets up and walks out the fire and then just fucking collapses again. That would have been a nice little Terminator-y moment.
Yeah.
What else? Come on, what else?
I've got nothing else. Toby. Toby was on screen.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's a big moment.
I mean, well, the bit where the bits where Drogon is just blowing shit up. I mean, it did look pretty fucking spectacular.
Visually,
see, when you're editing that, you need to put the crickets in there. I think.
all honesty, visually, yeah, they did well. It looked like, a big budget movie. They did it really well, but the whole impact of that whole scene is taken away by the fact of how fucking stupid it is.
I know what you mean.
Because I'm just sitting there and I'm like, why the fuck is she doing this? Why the fuck is she doing this? Innocent fucking civilians is completely against her character. You have not built up to this. You don't earn my respect. You haven't earned my loyalty in this scene. Fuck you. Yes.
And there's also, it was a really, really well written scene, I thought.
You can't even say it. You can't even fucking say it.
I was trying to get a raise out of you because of what you did with fucking Chernobyl earlier on about 3 hours ago. No, I was going to say the woman who fucking picked Arya up off the ground and then died like 3 minutes later. But I couldn't get through it, so it doesn't matter. Fucked it up, Kev.
That whole bit when she was like...
Who the fuck is that? Oh, by the way, she was in Chernobyl.
She ran round the corner, it blew up. She ran round another corner, it blew up. And I'm sitting there thinking, Arya's dead. Oh, no, she's not. They've killed Anna. Oh, no, they haven't. Oh, fuck me, Arya's pretty good. I mean, I knew that anyway, but they hadn't showed me that for the whole season, so I'd forgotten, just like they had. I'm like, oh, Arya's dead. No, she's still going. Fake die every 2 seconds. White Horse, she might actually be... No.
That would have been a good death, though.
It would have been a good death. There's so many ways you could have killed really important characters and it could have meant something. But instead, they fucking hide under the fucking throne room in a cave that didn't even collapse. It was just a little pile of rocks where they happened to be standing. Had they moved the littlest bit, she was fucking pregnant. They didn't make anything of that. What was with the baby that may or may not be Eurons? Definitely wasn't Eurons. Well, they only fucked once.
But there was loads of that shit. There was no mention of so she wasn't supposed to have any more kids.
Mm-hmm.
That prophecy bollocks.
The fucking prophecy meant nothing.
Where the fuck was Bran at when he was all white-eyed and shit when the Night King was coming up to him? Where the fuck was he? He sent crows somewhere. Where'd he go? Where'd he fucking go? What'd the crows do?
It's so bad.
Anyway, right.
But good points. Credits were nice. I mean, even the ending with the Arya on the boat going off to be Chris Columbus, couldn't give a fuck about that. Sansa getting ready to be Queen of the North, couldn't really care about that. Him going to fucking... That should have been a really heartwarming moment.
Although, I have to say, I did actually turn to Paul and go, if they don't show Ghost here, I am going to be fucking pissed off.
They had
because
to.
I thought, honestly, mate, I thought they weren't going to show Ghost.
They had to. But then again, the Battle of Winterfell, when they're all lined up and they're all ready to go to battle.
How did he lose his ear? How did he lose his fucking ear?
There's Ghost for like a split second, then we don't see him again because they spunked the budget on fucking dragons.
Pish. Aye. Right, let's move on.
Yeah, we're going to have to move on.
We've not even done fucking Just the Pilot yet.
I mean, my problem is I can't take away what the guys did for the whole entirety of the show. I can't take it away. I just think season 6 onwards, it just fucking died a death. And it died slowly as well.
Once they ran out of actual content.
Yeah. I've
got no doubt that George R.R. Martin was saying, right, this is how it's going to end or whatever.
Apparently Bran being on the throne is a thing.
Alright.
Yeah.
I would be tempted, you know, if he ever actually bloody finishes them, I would be tempted to go and read the books. I've read the first two.
This is the thing I've been saying. I'd be interested right now to see how many books have been sold since season 8 finished. Because I reckon those books will be selling like fucking wildfire.
All right.
Because people want a better story.
Yeah.
They want a better ending.
Well, he needs to get the fucking finger out, doesn't he?
Exactly, man. This might actually prompt them to finish in the fucking books, because he might be like, you know what?
It's still like book 6
Something like that.
out of 8.
People might be like, oh, people are pissed. I need to fucking rewrite this shit.
Lazy old bastard.
Aye. Petition.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna move on. Game of Thrones.
Wait a minute. Amy Pascal to remake Game of Thrones season 8. Petition.
I'd watch that.
Endorsed by, authorised by 365.
But it would be like a Game of Thrones / fucking, I don't know, 21 Jump Street, because she's mental.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It needs to happen.
It'd be like
Right then.
Game of Thrones, subtitled, All the Coke in the World. Allegedly. But yeah, so we're going to move on.
Chernobyl. Well, we talked about Chernobyl
Yeah,
real quick.
just the pilot. Really quick, we'll do Chernobyl, and then we've got a top 5 coming up.
You've heard others, but nothing could prepare you for the shameful stupidity that is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Witness the hubris as they claim to be the world's authority on comic book movies.
Who said that?
Never said that. We've never said that.
Who cares? A jock said that.
Comic book, TV, movie reviews, news, and whatever they choose. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Seriously, people really listen to this.
Jock and Nerd.
You chose this one.
So I did choose this one.
Yeah.
So Chernobyl, because we were going to give Sky Originals a chance to redeem themselves after the fucking Sean Bean pish. Was it the curfew?
Curfew, yeah.
So, Chernobyl. About Chernobyl.
Yeah, I don't really have a massive great deal to say about Chernobyl. I really enjoyed it. I think it's really well written. It's really well done. It's clearly very, very factual and on point, because they kind of put a little bit of everything in there. Everybody's great in it. All the actors are fantastic. Like I say, my only problem, it was why is everybody talking British?
Yeah.
Like, but as I've said to you last night, and I've said before to other people as well, I get it. Like, HBO, it's an important miniseries. It's obviously doing really well. I think it's like the highest rated HBO show ever now. Like, ever.
But then, you know what? I think there's a lot that people don't know.
Yeah.
And with stuff like that, I mean, there's a lot from watching it that I didn't, a fuckload that I didn't know. But then, you know, with anything like that, it's right. So, is it true? Is it not true? Is it made up? Is it fucking dramatic license or what?
Yeah, I think that there is a little bit of that.
You know, there is a lot from it, a lot behind the story, and I think that's maybe why people are finding it really fucking interesting to watch.
But as I say, I think that's why HBO did it that way, because.
Accessibility.
Like the Rain on Netflix, like I've said, not everybody's going to watch that. Yeah. It's a Swedish show with Swedish actors, subtitled, unless you put the dubs on, and the dubs are terrible. Most foreign language movies out there that have subtitles, when you put the dub on, because not everybody wants to read a movie. Not everybody wants to read the fucking screen. So they put the subtitles, the dubs on, and the dub tends to be terrible every time. Unless it's like a Studio Ghibli movie, which they seem to knock out the park. I genuinely think it is. It's all about accessibility. They want more people to watch it because it is important. And it does go into a lot of detail that, like you say, a lot of people probably don't know. I didn't know I didn't know any of it, really.
I mean, you know, again, it might be bullshit, but from what you're led to believe in watching the show, you know, they were a ball hair away from the entire, you know, the sort of north of Europe being pretty much uninhabitable.
Decimated,
yeah. which may or not be right. I don't know. I really don't know.
I imagine it's probably close.
Yeah.
I imagine it's not far off.
Yeah, it seems like a very specific thing in it.
Yeah.
And they do actually reference that in the, they give you the blurb at the end of the very last episode of okay, this happened to this character, and the people who went under to empty the water tanks.
Yeah.
So I from that, I'm guessing that is factual.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
It's HBO as well, so they're not going to fuck about.
Yeah, it's not like fucking... They're not going to Braveheart Chernobyl, are
Yeah.
they?
It's not like from the start they said, this is the story of Chernobyl, and we've faked the whole thing. This isn't Deadwood, by the way. This is Chernobyl. But yeah, I think everybody in it is great. There's a few guys in it that I haven't seen doing anything for a while. You got Jamie Seaves in there, which I was really happy to see from Braveheart. He's the one that looks over the thing at the end of the first episode, goes up on the roof.
Right,
and he sort of looks over. I haven't seen him in anything for a while. Michael Sosha's in there.
Michael Sosha.
Which, as soon as I saw him, I was like, Michael Sosha! Woo, woo, woo! So I was happy about that. Everybody's great in it.
Bloody shout out to Jared Harris.
Who's Jared Harris? Which one is he?
Jared Harris is like the main guy, the main character in it. The one who's like the professor or doctor or whatever.
He's got the glasses and the part.
Yeah.
And
it's Moriarty and...
Does he hang himself in the first episode? Right.
It's Jared Harris.
Right.
Yeah. He's been in loads of stuff.
Yeah, he is great, because it is a bit of a period piece, so they're all everybody looks kind of different, and I couldn't place Jared Harris, and I'm like, which one is he? I assumed that was him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't place him. But then again, I haven't seen Stellan Skarsgård yet. He's not in the first episode.
No, he's not in the first episode.
Nah.
No, he's great as well. Also,
he's great in everything.
The guy who plays Gorbachev, although you don't spend a lot of time with him, but it's pretty bang on.
Aye.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That was my only thing. I was like, why is everybody talking British? Why is everybody talking London? Come on, man. Seriously, what's going on here? This is Chernobyl. You're all supposed to be UK.
Switch off the reactor. You can't.
Switch off the nuclear reactor, please.
Although I suppose if you have actors, even if they were those are British and American actors going about speaking like Chekhov, then
they'd be fuck on again.
If the guys were going about the nuclear reactor, Captain, then okay, yeah, it would have been awesome. But
could you imagine the petitions? It would be awesome though.
No, you would have had racism.
Wicta. Switch off reactor. Wicta. Stuff like that.
Oh,
I know he's dead now.
Bless him. Anyway, yeah, it is very, very good. You've not finished it.
No, I only watched the first episode because I only just watched it last night.
Okay, well we'll not talk about it too much more then because you need to watch the whole thing. I actually watched the last episode last night. It is the end of it is very good. Turns out they go back in time.
Yeah, I read that.
And they stop the whole thing from happening, and then they make peace with America.
Oh fuck you! Don't be a dick.
Sorry.
And then
they go back in time.
And then actually, no, I read that it starts it ends at the start. Is that right?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
But when you said they go back in time, I was like, yeah, I know what you mean, but no, I didn't think they time traveled.
Dickhead. Aye. That's Chernobyl.
Better show.
Get the doctor in there.
I wouldn't mind about a time traveling Game of Thrones right now. Maybe time travel back to season 5 and just wait till fucking George finishes the books. Pricks.
Wow.
You know the one of them, I think it was Weiss, D.B. Weiss. You know he wrote Wolverine Oranges. No, that's not a joke. He legitimately wrote Wolverine Oranges. So the writing was on the wall, really.
Jesus.
Should have got fucking Ryan Reynolds in it.
Would you like to know what we're going to watch next?
I'd love to.
Right. Okay. It is a new show.
Ooh.
I know. So this show stars David the Fuck Tennant, Michael the Fuck Sheen.
Yeah, I'm dying to watch
Francis
this.
the Fuck McDormand.
Yeah.
Daniel the Fuck Mays.
This looks awesome.
John the Fuck Ham.
Daniel Mays as well.
Aye.
Ah, nice.
Jack Whitehall. Fan of Jack Whitehall? No.
Take him or leave him.
Michael McKean. You know who Michael McKean is. Miranda Richardson.
Sweet.
Or, excuse me, Miranda the fuck Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a hell of a cast. Bugger me. So the next show that we're watching for Just a Pilot is Good Omens.
Sweet.
Happy with that?
So you know Chernobyl. Can you actually go to Chernobyl now? No. So how did John McClane do it in Die Hard 5?
Move on to the top 5.
Sorry, John McClane.
Move on to the fucking top 5.
Right, so yeah, we're going to move on to the top 5, which is top 5 Game of Thrones moments because we were a little bit down on it before.
Yeah.
Again, let it be said, we are not slamming the show as a whole. We are just kind of slamming the last couple of episodes.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here for Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? The Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good.
Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.
I mean, this is a show that had some incredible fucking moments.
It was the gold standard in TV.
Yeah.
For a long time.
And, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so let's get into our top 5s. Would you like to go first?
Sure, why not? Why not? Right, okay, I am going to go with, let's see here. Okay, my number 5, I'm going to go with Cersei.
Okay.
And it's in, I think it's season 5, or maybe season 6. I can't remember. It's when Cersei is about to go on trial,
right,
with the Red Sparrow or whatever the fuck, and instead blows them all to fuck with Dragonfire.
That is a good bit.
You know, you're getting rid of religious people, which is always a plus.
Always a plus.
Yep. And, Cersei Lannister being Cersei Lannister. You get a nice, cheeky little smug as fuck smile at the end of it. Nice and satisfying, because I think it was maybe season 6 then, because season 5 was the one with all the bloody high fucking...
No, the Sparrow.
Yeah, it was
Jonathan Pryce.
The season where they introduced all the religious bollocks, but was a bad one for me.
Yeah,
I didn't
last long.
I didn't like that. But then we get Cersei giving them some fucking comeuppance after the whole ding 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 shame, ding 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 shame, and she blows them all to fuck.
She does. Yeah, that's a good moment. I didn't even register that one. I don't know if it would have made my list, but it is a cool ass moment. Yeah.
Go.
My number 5 is the golden crown from Khal Drogo to Viserys, Dany's brother.
Yeah, that was also going to be on my list.
Yeah,
I couldn't decide where.
For me, this was way back in season 1, and he was a main character, and I suppose this, personally, when you look back at it, this was the first indication that anybody in this show could die.
Mm-hmm. And also, fuck me, this show's brutal.
Yeah, it was a brutal death, but it was like, holy shit, he's a main character. because at that point I didn't really think Danny was up to much. I mean, all the way through I didn't think Danny was up to much, but I didn't necessarily think she was going to be the main character of the show going forward. I thought he was going to be one of the main characters, and then all of a sudden they fucking killed him. They killed him brutally, and it's like, damn. Of course, a couple of episodes later they would fucking stun me again, but that was like the first time I was like, holy shit, anybody could die.
Yeah.
And it's a good moment. It's a really good moment.
Yeah.
And it's brutal as fuck.
That's a good pick. Like I say, that was on my list.
Yeah.
Because it's the bit where his head lands on the ground and it just goes. Aye. My number 4 is The Hound versus Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, that's on my list, so I will also put it at number. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is.
Also your number 4?
It's not also number 4, but I'll move it up a bit.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome fight, and I like that there's no music or anything like that. It's just bloody fists.
And they don't hold back.
No, they don't hold back.
The two of them, they were knocking fuck out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think at one point during the fight, the Hound knees Brienne in the foof.
You can say it.
I don't know why I bloody censored myself after saying cunt about 5 times in this episode. But yeah, the Hound versus Brienne, it's brutal. Like you say, they don't hold back. There's no soundtrack over it, so it's just the two of them oofing and and all that. And it's a badass fight.
It is. It's great. It's great. So I'll have that in my number 4 as well. So I'll move on to my number 3, which is a moment when Arya gets to cross somebody off our list, because there's a few people that she didn't get to cross off our list because most of them died while she was just walking around. We have met the man. It's Arya versus Meryn Trant.
That was also again, I couldn't decide where, but I couldn't remember his name, so I just called him Too Old Fella.
We got to meet him at one of the Comic Cons.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And
I would have gone for a beer with him.
As much as I liked the scene, I really loved sort of the behind when he was telling us how he told us she just had to fucking go for it, and sort of
and also that during that scene, or in between takes in that scene,
he was having
a cry in the bathroom, and
because he has kids himself, and he's just kind of anybody was like that with my kids, I'd fucking kill them. And it was just it's a great scene. It's a great moment for Arya. It's a really great moment for his character because he gets just a fucking great death. But it's also when you sort of hear the behind the scenes story from the man himself, it adds a little bit more to it for me. So there's no way it wasn't going in there because he was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And I would totally have went for a pint with him.
He would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And Pod,
yeah, dreamy eyes.
He did, and he also liked my Spider-Man tattoo.
He did.
Better than your shitty Batman tattoo.
Yeah, fuck you.
But at least you didn't. Wait a minute, you did. You stripped off in front of him. So I am going to go with Arya as well for my next one. And so my next pick is Arya killing the Freys. In particular, Old Bastard, where she's being the many-faced assassin.
No, because that was a power she had.
That is a power that she has.
Yeah. Not in season 8 though.
And so he's an old fuck, and she puts a pie on the table, and he's eating the pie away, and he goes, "Where's my sons? Where's my sons? They're right there, my lord." And then he sees one of the fingers in the pie, and it's just a great moment. I punched the air when I saw that. When she takes off the face and all that, and she slits his throat, I punched the fucking air. That's a proper good Arya moment.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I like that as well. It was it's a moment I thought about. I did think about it, but I just my top 2. I couldn't replace anything with my top 2.
Okay. So number 2 then.
My number 2 is Yeah, my number 2 is literally just Ramsay Bolton.
All of Ramsay Bolton. I'll give you that.
Every single scene Ramsay Bolton was in, his entire story arc, his character, the kid that played him from Misfits, just Ramsay Bolton. It's just like I could pick any moment. The Battle of the Bastards,
the sausage,
when he's got the sausage, cutting his cock off, just mailing the cock to fucking whoever. Just every single fucking scene Ramsay's in.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
And you know what? You even get quite a nice moment when fucking what's his name? When his dad makes him like a proper Bolton, which is actually like, for this absolute asshole of a character that you hate, it's quite a heartwarming scene, and you're like, oh, Ramsay.
Although, you know what, I've just finished rewatching all of them before we watched season 8, and this is going to sound really fucked up, but the bit where he feeds the bairn and the new mother, who, like, the bairn is obviously the
great moment,
his rival or whatever to the throne, and I found myself going, fair play.
Oh, didn't we all? But yeah, the second favourite moment of the show is just Ramsay Bolton. Like, I couldn't actually pick.
That is probably, and this could be a top 5, one of TV's best characters ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you kind of like, you just come off having Joffrey, who was a shit. You know, Jack Gleason fucking gave up acting after that fucking role. You know, that's a role that you're never gonna really beat, I guess. But Ramsay's close. Ramsay's up there, if not level pegging.
Depending on how you look at it, it could be even worse.
Oh yeah, like
you know, he skins people and he rapes people.
Oh, he's great. I love him.
Aye. Yeah.
Well, and I love it when he says, "Is it Rickon?" And he's like, "Run," and he's like, tells him basically to do evasive maneuvers or something like that.
Stupid little shit.
I love it.
Right, so my number 2, I'm going to go with a Night King moment.
A Night King moment. Is it a hard moment?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was on my my honourables basically, because it is fucking awesome.
You know, you've got the Jon Snow and the heroes making the escape, and then the Night King just raises his hands, Undertaker styley, and all the dead come back to, well, not life, but they all get back to their feet. Jon Snow is kind of going, we're fucked. We're pretty much fucked now. Everyone's going to die, maybe.
I do, like, I'm with you there. That is an amazing moment, because, like, you're already thinking, like you say, like, Jon Snow's thinking, oh, we're all fucked. Like, you're already thinking that anyway, and then he does that, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, that's quite a sobering moment for any character.
But the Night King's also a complete cocky bastard in that moment, and unfortunately, you don't get too many more moments like that for the Night King. But that was one of them.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Is your number 1?
My number 1, I've actually hobbied my number 1.
Shit.
Because basically, the first scene leads directly into the second scene. My number 1 is Trial by Combat / Viper versus the Mountain.
Okay.
I love it. That whole, like, there's many good monologues in Game of Thrones, but Tyrion, when he basically starts tearing them down.
Oh, the trial scene.
The big speech he does.
Right, I thought you meant the trial by combat.
Oh, no, not in season 1. Like, the big speech he does when he's like, I demand a trial by combat.
Is actually my number 1 as well.
Oh, I thought it might be, which is why I was like, what the fuck are you looking at me like that for?
I did not do it, but I wish
Amazing.
I had.
Amazing.
It's just...
Like, I would do it again. Like, I'd kill everyone here kind of thing. And it's just like, Dinklage delivers even the worst dialogue in that show, season 8. Dinklage delivers like an absolute fucking champ. But that is some of the best dialogue in that show. He just nails it, knocks it clean out of the park. I demand a trial by combat. Just fucking works for me. And then you get fucking poor Oberyn. Yeah, the Viper versus the Mountain.
Yeah.
It's also one of my other favourite parts of the show because, bless me, in my whole naivete, I genuinely thought Oberyn was going to win that fight.
Oh, you poor lamb.
And then when he gets his fucking eyeballs squeezed, yeah.
And then his head squeezed.
I was literally just sat there like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, I actually, of all the bad shit that's happened in that show, like people being skinned, people being raped, all that kind of thing, like feeding a baby to a fucking dog, like, I genuinely feel like that's the most shocking moment for me. Even the Red Wedding, it beats the Red Wedding.
Well, you see a guy's skull being broken.
And it's Pedro Pascal, who we all love.
Exactly.
Yeah. National treasure, Pedro Pascal. Toby Osmond's on-screen brother. Or cousin, or whatever.
Brother cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was number one for me. Trial by Combat. Love that scene. Yeah, I actually forget that there was one in season 1 as well, because Bronn did it, didn't he?
That's right, on the in the Vale.
Oh, what about her as well? Oh, the Mundo.
That's right.
Push about the Mundo, Mum. We met her.
We did meet her.
Yeah.
And she was awesome. She was our first ever interview, Kev.
Yeah, Kate Dickey.
Bless her. She was awesome.
She was awesome. And then we followed that up with fucking Tom Burke. I don't really like to... I don't... Shut up.
Why is it always Walkers versus... Because it's Walkers, you prick. No one likes Golden Wonder.
Who eats Golden Wonder, you freak? Go and eat some Skips. Yeah.
Anyway.
Definitely number one. Trial by Combat, Viper versus the Mountain.
Yep.
And they are some good moments in Game of Thrones.
Yes, they are.
To go up against Season 8.
Some lots of good moments.
Yeah, Season 8. We'll just call it Season 8. It's called Bad Moments Season 8. Season 8, Episode 5 and 6. And 4 and 3.
1 and 2 was fine.
1 and 2 was
okay.
One was good.
1 was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you want to get into it, it's a bit long-winded for an opening episode, but it's aight. So are we gonna go? Because this has literally been a fuck. Yeah, this is a 3 hour and 45-minute podcast episode.
Bloody hell! It's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we're gonna go. We'll be back with another jam-packed episode, I'm sure. It won't be too long before we come back, and we've got some interviews coming up. We've got some. We're going to have to start sorting some interviews out, Chris.
Yes, we are back. We have got our mojo back.
Yeah, the mojo is back. The mojo Rowley is back. So
get out of my house.
Would you like to say goodbye to the people?
No, I want you to leave my house right now. Goodbye, people.